top right corner. I think was where the camera was the best.
I would join you guys, but I have a dog in the way.
I mean, we can make the dog get down.
I don't know. I don't want to push the dog.
Can we like?
That ain't gonna work.
No, the camera's not.
I promise that when the dog moves, I'll scoot over.
All right. All right. Well, here we are again. He might. I don't know if he's gonna move. He's real comfortable.
I can always annoy him and see what happens. All right, we're back in Returnal. It's been a while.
Yeah. No, seriously, it has been. It's been quite a while. No, I don't actually know.
What's up with that glowing orb over there? Is that Rover from Prisoner?
What's up with that? Can we bounce off of that?
Can we get absorbed by it? Oh, we can.
What's in there?
A rift between two timelines.
Is that good or bad?
Oh, that must be the multiplayer thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that must be what that is.
Throwing noses.
How's the multiplayer in this work?
I haven't tried it. I think it's like a kind of like a Dark Souls thing where you basically summon someone into your game.
No, okay.
Now I'm not actually sure. I'm not entirely sure where the tower is or how you're supposed to go to that.
We gotta go to a tower.
Well, that's what the new game mode is, right? It's like a challenge tower, and then that has within it a new boss and new story sequences. Yeah.
So that's one of those things we could either be done with in one day, or we could be done with in 6 months.
Yeah, it could literally be.
Oh, sweet! There's photo mode now.
Ooh, photo mode! I've been waiting for that.
Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes or breaks a game.
Let me take a selfie.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they have any selfie stones in this? Selfie sticks in this?
Selfie sticks.
Selfie stones.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
You must gather the 7 selfie stones.
More communications from those who came before.
White poppies?
The Tower of Sisyphus. Die then live, disconnected. The endless heights must hold white poppies. Unreasonable silence. The parts that are not translated properly.
Alright, so what's that got to do with opium?
Gotta go get them white poopies.
Oh, this is the tower.
Syphilis.
Oh, this is just the new area. It just opened us right in front of it.
Syphilis Tower, dude.
Syphilis Tower. That should be the name of the video.
It looks like the Citadel from Half-Life 2.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Just wider.
I mean, but you also, Ulysses, you're right. It could be. Oh, afternoon, Tuna. Thank you for the 50 bits. Thank you.
Going.
Hello, and how are you? How was the rest of your stream, man? And then, here, let's see. I'm gonna just have to post that we're streaming here. Doing good. Awesome.
Where we going?
Syphilis Tower, Alex. You already said so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we turned into a little sperm so we can go get the syphilis.
Mount Syphilis.
Oh, nice. You're watching Goodfellas. That is a classic.
Oh, yeah, Goodfellas.
You know, Nadia had never seen Shawshank Redemption.
What?
Yeah, we watched it yesterday.
I was gonna say that's awesome. Good. I wish I could watch that movie for the first time again.
That's a great movie. This game looked great. Oh yeah, this is a badass game. Getting into the expansion here. I like Ulysses just said, it could be.
Jesus, your claws are sharp. You know that?
Like, love me!
You could put your head elsewhere other than on top of my head. Right there.
No, the dog's got to have his face on your face.
He really does think he's like.
He thinks he's a little lapdog.
A pug or something.
He does. He thinks he's a little lapdog, and so he just buries himself on top of you. Yeah.
You can barely see him on this couch.
I know he's all black in the game. Favorite movies of all time. I mean, I've got. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, that's very.
I can tell you like a bunch of my favorites, but it's hard for me to put them in any particular order.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, Godfather.
I love Godfather.
Green Lantern Sage's favorite.
God damn it! No, it's not.
I really like Ryan Reynolds' performance.
I know I don't.
Yeah,
His second favorite is Wolverine Origins.
You said it was.
I hate
best, you said it was his best performance since The Proposal.
What?
That's what you said.
I did not
saw
say that.
Movie. You said Ryan
No.
Reynolds hasn't been this good since the
Morbius is in your top 10, isn't it?
Oh my god. It's Morbin time?
Well, I mean, with iconic lines like
Morbius 2, more BS.
I'm glad Afternoon Tune is joining in on that.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that more people in this that have subscribed to this channel know Sage so well now.
Well, it's pretty easy to get to know Sage. Right? Favorite video game? Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god. I hate you. No.
Sage is
It's clobbering time.
Sage is
Sage also
texting
likes,
his Armenian boyfriend.
Sage also likes Fan 4 Stick.
Yeah, you did like Fan 4 Stick.
I hated Fan 4 Stick.
You liked it because that 4 stick, like you really liked the way they worked that 4.
Yeah, it was all about the title.
It was the word. It was the wordplay. I remember you showed me the
It's
cover
specifically the wordplay. Really? That's what it was.
You showed me the poster for that movie, and you said if the writing in this is anything like the title, like.
Oh my god. That is some horse shit right there. All right.
Other stuff that Sage been pretty into.
Catwoman. Holly Berry's Catwoman.
Carnage.
No. Neither of those things. I'm sorry, but I don't like movies that start with
You don't like
cats,
movies?
with cats coughing
You don't
in
like
people's
movies.
mouths. God damn it!
Speaking of cats, he also loves the movie Cats.
You have worst films of all time?
Oh God, do we?
Green Lantern.
I've got one for you. There's this piece of shit, low-budget sci-fi movie from the 90s. It's called Feeders.
Feeders.
And it's,
I've never seen that.
I think it's a fetish.
Yeah, that's not a movie. That was what you were doing in the 90s. That was the...
no, it's this fucking piece of shit movie.
went
I
down to,
can only recommend.
Pastamania.
I can only recommend the Rift
Stare
Tracks
into the
version.
butthole, dude.
I can only recommend the Rift Tracks version, but it's like the most low-budget, boring, like alien invasion movie of all time. Where the special effects for the aliens.
Oh, that
is
just
like,
sent me back.
It's like somebody put a rubber tube over a light bulb and just drew a face on it.
Okay, I guess I just sent
Sounds
me back.
intimidating.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the worst films I have ever fucking seen in my life. Oh wait, what?
You just ran back into the level. I was trying to...
No, but that's not.
Of the tower.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because that's...
This
so
is
it sent you back to the beginning when you looked into that.
Right. No, I know. I was trying. I didn't realize it was the tower was just available in the same.
Translocator.
Yeah. No. You know.
I have a translocator, dude.
Do you?
It's called an Adam's apple.
No, but seriously, The Exorcist 2.
Ooh, that's a good
One
choice.
of the worst fucking movies of all time. Like, holy shit, dude! That movie is absolute trash. Like, have you guys ever seen The Exorcist 2?
Nope.
Nope.
You only told me recently that there were sequels to that movie.
Oh yeah, you didn't even know there was more than one.
I was like, I liked the first one.
Yeah, the first
And that
one's great.
was the only one.
There's like what 5 I want to say of those movies.
Sorry, the horror movies, man, they don't know when to let something go.
Nope.
No, they don't.
That's why there's so many Jason movies.
Dude, there's 10 Hellraisers. There's
So many Chuckies.
How many Friday the 13th are there?
I think 11.
Chucky? There's like, what, 4 or 5 Chuckies?
Or
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's at least 8.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
You know, I know that because the 8th one was surprisingly good.
Oh, okay.
Was
That's
that
crazy,
Was
right?
that the newest one?
I don't even know.
Leprechaun-
There's
five
been a
Leprechaun
TV show
movies.
now too.
There's
So.
5 Leprechaun movies?
Yeah.
I don't watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, that's probably not something I'm gonna give any time to be honest. I liked the first season. I thought was good, but I haven't liked it since. So.
Literally, the only thing I know about Stranger Things is that it used a piece of music from the Brigador soundtrack.
See, I didn't even remember that, and I watched it.
Well, that's in season 4.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I could not tell you what the show's about. I don't know who's in it. Don't particularly care.
That first season, I think, if they had just ended it, it would have been remembered as a pretty great miniseries. And it should have stayed that way.
Yeah, but Sage, how often does something get a positive critical response on Netflix?
Well, I mean, not
I gotta milk the shit out of it.
I mean, not everything can be Centaur World.
Oh my god. Wait, what? I thought that season 4 was the last season. Jesus Christ, they're doing another one? Wow.
Sage, they just freed up all that money by canceling Centaur World.
I don't think that freed up any money.
And that
What if I told you Centaur World had a $2 billion budget?
I would think you were a goddamn liar.
well, they canceled Meghan Markle's cartoon too.
Meghan Markle's cartoon?
Yeah,
She had a
Meghan
cartoon?
Markle. Yeah, she was supposed to have a Netflix cartoon.
Wait, really?
Really?
Yeah, based on herself about how amazing she
That
was.
sounds really boring and egotistical.
Yeah, well, what do you expect from celebrities, man?
But yeah, no,
Ah,
she
shit.
was.
I guess they have to do something to stay relevant now.
Oh, what, Stranger Things? Yeah, I mean, especially in the first season. I mean, I guess... I assume they're at least okay in season 4, but... I mean, my thing with the show wasn't the actors, it's that after season 1, I just thought, like, they were really stretching the premise of the plot thin. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I am definitely rusty. Rusty Shackelford.
Rusty Shack.
That was Dale's code name in King of the Hill.
Oh. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, where does that come from?
Yeah,
The only time I've actually seen that was for a while there was a guy on Twitter whose handle was Rusty Shackelford. And he was
That had to be a reference to King
Yeah,
of
it was
the Hill.
definitely a reference. I just never knew what it was a reference to. But
Oh,
he was flying a drone over Epstein's Island. He's the guy who got the pictures.
Oh, well, that's a very fitting username.
He's the one who got the pictures of the inside of that temple.
Oh, was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that was creepy as shit, dude.
Yeah, it was weird, dude.
Looking at baseball, that place.
Oh, the security's still there.
Yep. Yeah, if there was any place you could nuke and then just be like, yeah, fuck it, do it. Yeah, that'd be it.
I mean, I'd like for them to actually get the evidence.
Well,
out
that's
there,
true.
Ideally.
That's true.
Release, escape. Release, escape. Should I fall? I will climb again.
Why is that a hologram in that? Huh.
To the highest.
Can I make this something I can interact
That's my
with?
I will
strong
go there
side.
now.
What?
As you will.
What?
Joe Quesada leaving
Joe
Marvel.
Quesadilla? Who?
Afternoon Tune, I'll tell you right now that that is a question that my two co-hosts can't really answer because they don't really react like comic books very much, let alone know the names of specific writers and artists and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I've been not impressed with Marvel in general for a while. So.
Yeah, that makes me kind of hungry.
See, that's all you're gonna get out of them.
Yeah, that's
That's the extent. Seems like most people are happy he's leaving. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been super impressed with
You don't like
Marvel.
Mexican cuisine over there?
No, I do actually. That's one of my favorite cuisines. It's Japanese, Ethiopian,
I was
and
going to have the
Mexican.
same question because I don't know. Is that like a Taco Bell Mexican food or is that a real Mexican?
You talking about the guy, Joe Quesada? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, to be honest.
Because that sounds like it might.
You're telling me it's like what?
I think a
quesadilla?
quesadilla. I think a quesadilla might be like Tex-Mex.
It's not quesadilla. You fucking know it.
Telamo.
That was Matt Brannigan.
Quesadilla.
I am pronouncing it right, okay.
What, Quesada?
Quesada, yeah.
Quesadilla.
No.
You did pronounce quesadilla correctly.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I got that one.
Nailed it.
Yeah, your Spanish is improving, Sage.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I've been a little out of the loop on comics for a bit. I got very.
Multiple dialects of Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
I speak Spanish,
Uh-huh.
and Mexican Spanish.
Yeah.
And
How are they different?
So Spanish is like Barcelona, tapas, conquistador.
Right. You gotta use your ustedes and all that.
Yeah, right.
Where is... Ah, okay.
What about Portuguese? Did you that?
No.
Portuguese is basically just Spanish. They're like the knockoffs.
I don't know. I've listened to enough Brazilian, like...
Well, Brazilians are different, but Portugal is just like, a smaller, like, shittier Spain.
Yeah, but their language sounds significantly different. To me, at least, anyway, when you listen to Portuguese, it doesn't sound as nice as Spanish.
That makes sense.
First impression of it.
What, meaner?
Just more, just slightly more guttural, I guess. Almost like it has more, maybe Portuguese is influenced more by the occupation, by the Umayyad Caliphate.
Sure.
Or something. I don't know. But it has more of the kind of, harsher sounds to me, kind of guttural throat noises of, Arabic or Islamic language than your average Romance language.
Key.
But I have no idea. I mean, both Spain and Portugal were under Umayyad control for 300 years or something like that.
Yeah.
The Al-Andalus. Yeah.
Oh, Joe Quesada was there for 22 years? That's a long time.
What, he was in Portugal for 22 years?
It had Marble for 22 years.
Chipotle Mexican Grill.
For 22 years? Well, he must not even have an asshole anymore.
He's off the menu? That's strange.
Well, when people were asking him to wrap their burritos in them, it got to be too much for him.
I'm just saying, man, if you spent 22 years at a Chipotle, you must not even have an asshole anymore.
I just love that when
they just kind of slit when everything just pour out of,
I just love when everybody's ordering those quesaritos or whatever at Chipotle, and Chipotle was trying
Chipotle
to
and quesaritos?
Well, it was a hack thing or whatever where you could pay extra or whatever, and then they'd wrap your burrito in a quesadilla. But it was really hard to do.
I'm sorry, I've come to Chipotle. Can I please get an item from the Taco Bell menu?
Well, no, they didn't have quesadillas. And Chipotle was the first place to have quesadillas.
Oh yeah,
because it was a menu hack. It wasn't a real thing, but people were asking to have their burritos wrapped in a quesadilla.
Right.
And for a little while they were doing it, and then it got too complicated, and the quesadillas kept ripping. So Chipotle put out the memo that you were just supposed to refuse to make a quesarito. So then Taco Bell was like, "Fuck, we'll put it on the menu."
It's a savvy business move.
Well, and then Taco Bell's quesadilla for their quesarito was basically just nacho cheese in between two of their rancid tortillas.
No, it doesn't sound good at all.
That was pretty good.
I like that rancid to describe a food, but so yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, and Scandinavian. I mean, rancid is one of
That's
3
true.
flavor profiles available.
That's at the top of your food pyramid.
It's the best flavor we have.
Rancid is the best flavor you have.
Well, there's rancid, and then there's soap flavor.
But I mean that's.
Soap.
But no, I mean I will say afternoon tune. That's that's kind of crazy. That's a long time, but I don't know enough about his specific decisions to, I guess, say whether I think it's truly a good or bad thing. Oh shit!
Getting lasered.
I got lasered, blazed, all kinds of lasered.
Oh, I did see a pretty funny video.
Oh yeah.
There was a commercial from Saudi Arabia.
No, but that sounds like it'd be so. I know what the premise of the show is, and I saw the poster, and I can't imagine that looks even a little bit good.
But apparently Saudi Arabia just had their census recently, and it became a major issue in the country because the census kept on falling farther and farther behind. Because all the census takers would go around and ring people's doorbells and be like, "Oh, please come inside. Let me get you some coffee. Do you want some food or whatever?" Yeah. So apparently they had to put out an ad telling people not to feed the census takers in your house because they were getting 4 or 5 people's houses done a day.
Because they were inviting them in to hang out.
Hey,
King! What's up, King? How you doing?
Yeah, they were just spending like an hour and a half to 2 hours per house because they'd be like, "Oh, my wife's cooking. Do you want some dinner?" And then they just could not eat.
Yeah, I feel like they get really fat after just one day.
Yeah, well, the guy they picked for the commercial is pretty chubby.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know what they thought was going to happen. I mean, that's sort of a traditional tenet of like American hospitality.
Yeah, then you gotta always offer something. Did you
It's
see?
like they had to put signs up like it was like the zoo animal.
Did you see how Did you see Sweden getting dragged online?
Oh, what did they do?
Well,
Maybe they didn't do anything.
So they put out somebody like posted this map on Reddit showing like countries where you're most likely to receive food if you're a guest and the countries you're least likely to. And like Sweden was like, you will never receive food if you're at somebody's house. And then people started posting stories about how when they were kids they would go over to hang out with go over to a friend's house. And then their friend would be like, okay, cool, just hang out upstairs, I'll be right back. And then they'd go down and eat dinner without them and leave them sitting in their room while they ate.
Oh my god. Wow.
So people were dragging them for that.
Doing good playing Bakugan? I don't know what that is. I genuinely don't know what that is.
That's when you cut your stomach open because you like ritually.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What are you talking
I think you're
about?
mistaking.
No,
because it sounds
know.
Japanese. You
Yeah.
assume it's like a samurai custom.
Yeah. I know that's called seppuku.
Yeah.
I love the shotgun, but it does have higher damage. I mean, it's just a challenge tower.
I don't know if I'd call seppuku a game.
Wait, what, a game?
This is like fun, you know. I mean,
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it fun to cut your own guts out?
I
tried it.
I'm gonna make a kid's toy. It's gonna be a sword.
Okay.
And you get like a fake stomach, and maybe it's like stuck with magnets, and then you can like do that, and then I don't know. You
What
can have,
age
like,
group of children?
Yeah, have like a
are
little
targeted?
hamburger. Come on, it's gonna be fun. There'll be like a corn dog in there.
What age group is this for?
Kids
Like-
like
Kids his age.
Yeah,
30 and up.
yeah, 30 and up. No, I don't know. I mean, like, I just feel like kids have fun. Like, come on, you don't think a kid would have fun taking like a knife and then like cut the stomach open and be like, oh, there's your chicken nuggets I just ate. Like,
Damn,
I feel
maybe
like
the child
like
of
you
Hannibal Lecter.
like Suzy Seppuku. Like, I'll make that doll. And then you can like feed her. It's better than getting the poop, okay? Like I'd rather,
What if like
I'd rather have them cut the stomach open and the chicken.
Alex,
nuggets come
I
out.
want to try it on
understand.
their real stomachs?
I
Like,
understand.
give me a plastic knife.
Yeah, but what if they want to try it like a real knife on their real stomachs?
I understand that
I
your
mean-
child being an animal torturer is better than being a shit fetishist, but like neither of those are things we should be striving for.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, fine, we'll make it like an X-ray toy. I give up.
An X-ray toy. How would
Yeah,
that
then you'd be like, but I'm just because the kids want to see what's in the
So the kids are
stomach.
going to radiate themselves?
No, they radiate their doll. You shove like a chicken nugget in there, and then you got the X-ray.
I also
and
forgot
you're like,
Samuel
wow,
L.
look at
Jackson was in Goodfellas.
Look at that chicken nugget.
I like
Oh,
that
he
one.
wasn't. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I
truck
definitely
driver.
forgot about that. Huh.
Yeah, he was in it for
Haven't watched
very,
it.
very small amount of time. He was one of the guys who gets.
Y'all never heard of Bakugan? What? No, I don't know what that is. I really don't.
No.
Not
Yeah,
lying
that
at
could
all.
be anything. I mean, is that like a villain from one of the Gamera movies?
Battle Brawler.
From one of the camera movies.
Huh? No, I'm not familiar with
Yeah, I have no idea.
Battle Brawlers?
it. Like,
Well, thank you for the resubscription, honey.
Just like the rest of Atropos.
You're going to get hit?
Atropos.
Is Bakugan like? I mean, I assume it's a Japanese thing. Is it
Probably Dutch.
Dutch? You think Dutch?
No. What?
Did the red one show up yet? No, it didn't. So we're playing with the drifty controller, which
Say just drifting.
drifting.
Hey, I mean, it's like a challenge.
Do you want to know how they live in Tokyo? Fast and Furious. Drift. What
ridiculous theme song, dude.
They had the best music in the early Fast and Furious movies.
What, the Red
Ranger get arrested.
What, like the Power Ranger?
Did the Red Ranger like commit bank fraud or something? Was that in Power Rangers?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh,
wait, really? Oh, wait, are you talking about the actor?
I assume?
Or is there a plot line in the TV show about bank fraud? Because I'm suddenly more interested in Power Rangers than
that
I was
actually sounds
before.
like a good plot.
Yeah, I'd be way more
I
interested.
thought my kids watch that.
Okay, it was the actor.
All right.
Slightly disappointed, but you know.
I'm not surprised. Some of those Power Rangers actors are kind of on hard times.
Yeah.
Having to commit fraud and shit like that.
Never mind.
It's lost to history.
Lost to history.
I mean,
I still don't know what it is. Is this like some sort of like ancient language? You know, it's like Assyrian or something.
I'm assuming it's a Japanese thing. Is it an anime or like is it like an anime thing? Or
is it like a title or something?
Is it the name of a character? Is it like the game itself? Like, I mean, I'm genuinely curious. I was like, I don't know.
I can go see what a Bakugan is.
Hopefully, it won't backfire on you.
Yeah, it won't put you on a government list or something.
Spelled differently enough from Bukaku.
Is it just
It's like a toy tie-in anime.
Oh, okay.
This anime adventure series, a bunch of more than ordinary playing cards drop from the sky, landing all over.
Oh, so it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, but with like actual little plastic
anime
figures.
card game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it sounded kind of familiar, but then I thought I was confusing with Beyblades.
Now that I've heard of, never played, but heard of.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like yeah, they had toys.
We're not the biggest anime folks around these parts, so I guess that's why we may not have heard of it.
Yeah, I only watch like those stupid European cartoons, like Smurfs and whatever.
I actually don't watch the Smurfs.
Whatever that.
Oh, I learned an
asterisk.
I learned an interesting thing about the Smurfs.
What? I'm cultured, dude.
You think watching the Smurfs is being cultured?
I don't know. It's a Belgian thing.
Is it?
Fancy chocolate. Yeah, Smurfs is from Belgium. You didn't know that?
Oh, I thought you were saying that the Smurfs are Belgian.
I mean, they could.
Well, they were
Belgian.
created and animated and everything in Belgium. Like, that makes them probably
They live in
Belgian,
Belgium.
right? Do they?
Yeah, it looks like Belgium.
In the show?
I mean, Belgium's as close to a real place you can
Is
get.
it close as a real
Are you saying Belgium isn't a real place?
What?
You're saying Belgium is not, in fact, a real place?
It's just a really well-detailed facsimile of a real place.
Yeah.
There are some pretty solid arguments for why Belgium's not a real country. Like,
Are they because you've never been there?
Artificial. No, just that, like, it's kind of a nonsense. It's like they took a small part of France and a small part of the Netherlands and then squished them together and called it a country.
Oh, I heard it was flat.
What, Belgium is?
Yeah, I heard Belgium is secretly flat, but they don't want us to know.
I mean, that whole area is flat, dude. Like,
Yeah, they don't
That
want
whole,
to know.
like-
That's why they covered it with water.
I mean, it's only underwater if the levees break, but
Well, I mean, sometimes they've intentionally flooded it because they're trying to hide, from the world.
that's true. The the Queen of the Netherlands told.
They have a queen.
Yeah, they got a royal family.
Okay.
The House of Orange. That's what it's called.
I know, but it's
Are you saying the
still
royal
stupid.
family is entirely like a bunch of juicy fruits?
No, it's just they're well, they all look like Trump.
I learned something interesting about the Smurfs because I was curious after
A lot
the
of
last
Smurf
time.
knowledge coming up
Yeah.
today. Who would have thought?
After the last time we had talked about Smurfs, I was curious and I looked it up, and apparently there were no original female Smurfs. Smurfette was created by Gargamel as like a trap.
Oh, I did know that, yeah. I do remember having heard
So
that.
there are no female Smurfs.
No,
So how do they reproduce?
I guess they don't.
Oh.
There
Well, that's better. I
think they're immortal?
thought that one female Smurf had to give birth to all the Smurfs.
There are actually
So now
other
I feel
female
better
Smurfs. I don't know where
Are
they
they?
came from. Yeah, there's I don't remember what they're called, but there's a couple others.
So Smurfette is the name of one Smurf. They're not
the first
Smurfette.
one.
What are the other female Smurfs' names, though? Like what?
I don't remember. I remember seeing them, but I forgot. There was
Because all the Smurfs names were kind of based on the role they fulfilled. Like
one of them was
job.
like Sassy Smurf or something like that.
Some of them had, some of them are personality traits.
Some of them are jobs.
Yeah. And then there's Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
I guess his job is to be everybody's dad. I don't know.
He's like the chieftain.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. I mean, like, you guys take Belgium seriously?
I didn't say that.
I mean, I just admitted that it's a country.
See, I don't know, man. They don't got their own currency.
Okay, Alice, you got to admit that Belgium was more respectable than France.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Because...
Is it just because they're less snooty?
I mean, like, Belgium's half French.
Yeah, but that means that they're halfway more respectable.
Are they? I respect Dutch people.
I don't know. I mean, at least the Dutch beat the Spanish Armada.
That's true. I don't know. The French beat the Spanish. Napoleon kicked the Spanish.
That doesn't count.
Why?
Napoleon wasn't French.
It's true, but he did it with a French army.
French are okay if someone else is leading them, but by themselves they can't help.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, he's not wrong.
That's true.
Okay.
I don't know.
Belgium put up a better fight in World War II than the French did. No, really, they did. There was like a group of, I think it was 40 Belgians who had no ammunition, but somehow they managed to hold off the Germans for like the entire German army for days.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Like
not that you
style
would
thing.
expect. Not that you would expect a country that size to be able to resist for very long, but I mean, the Blitz plowed through the Netherlands and Belgium. And
given what Belgium had to work with versus what
Yeah.
France had to work with, they did a better job.
That's true. And Belgium got stomped twice just for being in the way of France.
Exactly. Yeah, Belgium's real problem is that it's next to France.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it just seems like it would make more sense to split it in half and just make the north part of the Netherlands and the south part of France.
Or we could just make France
Because
part.
they don't even like each other.
Yeah, but we could make France part of Belgium. I think that would be better for both countries.
I think the Flems would hate that very much. All of a sudden, they don't even like the number of French people that are in Belgium right now.
But they wouldn't be French anymore with Belgium. France would exist.
Yeah, but the Walloons are Belgian, and the Flems don't like them at all.
Well, I can live with it.
That's complicated.
I mean, you can tell him to, but there we go. Finally, something with some like actually high damage.
Yeah, if you can just get that one weapon that just lets you basically win the game.
I mean, there's a few pretty good ones, but yeah, I know the one you're talking about is my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know what that one's called, but
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
to be honest,
either.
the weapons of this game do not have the best, most memorable names.
No, they don't.
They're like that weird brand of sci-fi where they kind of make sense, but are also vague enough that it's like it just sounds like that no matter.
Well, and from what we understand of this game's story, this may not really even be happening anyway. So.
Right, so it kind of fits.
Yeah.
It's just for the player.
Be the techno babble and like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a few too many episodes and things like that.
So she watched Star Trek. I'm sorry, man. Star Trek is so fucking like it's such a shit show now.
It is though.
No, it does. I don't know. It definitely all long-running sci-fi series eventually become massively overburdened with crap.
Some sooner than others.
Star Trek almost immediately.
Well, especially the episodic ones, because they've always had the problem where
You can cut Star Trek a lot of slack for the early days because all TV was just fucking
Well,
awful in the
see,
60s.
I disagree because some of it was so good that then it's like, well, then how do you excuse the stuff that sucked? when some of it was genuinely great.
Well, but I'm saying it deserves credit for being genuine. Any of it deserves credit for any of it being genuinely good due to the fact that all TV kind of sucks.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I know that's. I mean, I'll grant you that. I just
like the fact that any of it was good is.
Well, Star Trek's blessing and its curse was its guest writers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd have a writer come in who was really, really good and would make, like, you did the best episode of Trek. And then you'd have someone come in who'd just make god-awful trash, like that Africa Planet episode.
Yeah, that was bad, dude.
And that wasn't even, like, really old. That was 90s. Maybe late 80s.
Well, yeah, that was Next Generation.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't even the original series. That was Next Generation.
But then, you had the shitty writers come in for stuff like that fucking infamous Gorn episode.
Yeah, with the worst fucking fight scene of all time.
You have the same problem with Doctor Who, of course. And Doctor Who is worse in the sense that it has no fucking continuity. Its continuity just changes every other day.
That was one thing that I thought was actually really funny about, like, I remember when, like, they made a change. Yeah, no, this is actually a pretty hard game.
Yeah, this is like almost like Souls-like.
I had a harder time with some of the stuff in this than I did it with the actual Souls games.
Some of the final fighting you did.
I got into the groove of it, though.
Intense. Yeah, you did really well, but those
you put in the hours, get the practice for it.
Yeah,
true.
Hey, better than I could do with my old man reflexes.
I wouldn't even try.
I mean, well, beating Cuphead is what made me go, damn, I really kind of just... I'm getting into hard games. Just getting into them. I don't know. Like, there is the satisfaction. I mean, Ulysses, you've beaten all 3 Dark Souls games. Isn't that a more satisfying game to beat than most other games you've played? Just purely because there was a challenge to beating it?
Yeah, pretty much all of the most memorable gaming experiences that I've had where you get that kind of feeling of accomplishment is when you've got things that are that fucking challenging.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could definitely... There are some Souls elements to this, for sure.
Yeah, it's not quite Souls because there's not so much of an emphasis on, like,
sometimes it
RPG sort of mechanics.
Sometimes it does look like Doom Eternal when they're just
zipping around.
Tons of enemies.
Well, I thought of it like
you're not getting grappling around too, but you're not getting flooded like you did.
The arenas, I feel like, are bigger for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a couple of monster closets I've seen in this, but like nothing like Doom.
Yeah, where they Doom would just put you in a fucking tiny ass hallway with
but
a million enemies.
I do remember some of the fights in the last world that you had where it was,
some of those were tough.
You'd be swimming in enemies just nonstop.
Oh yeah, there was some tough stuff. There's definitely some tough stuff. But I mean, this was my number 2 game for last year.
It was pretty good, dude. Very cool.
Alright.
Speaking of weird sci-fi ideas like this, did you guys hear about how some scientists had found this crystal, right? Like 850 million years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they have better. They
shoved it up his ass.
They have a theory that there could potentially be like evidence of life inside of it, or possibly even dormant life forms.
I think so. I think this is a great buy, and it will last you. Ooh, that's fucking cool. Dude, that's metal as fuck. I think that's the new boss. Oh, shit, we got to the new boss already?
Damn.
Not very big tower so far.
Holy shit.
Well, it's also like...
oh my shit. God, dude.
I got a shotgun on it.
Yeah, seriously.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
This has also got like a bullet hell going on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This game makes me think of like a 3D Cuphead actually a lot too, because Cthulhu Undying it. Yeah, no, this is one of the most metal boss fights out of all of them.
You could straight up put that thing on like a metal album.
Jesus Christ.
It's like some kind of Mr. Peanut god.
It's Mr. Peanut
Well, now
God
that
thing.
Mr. Peanut died, this is when he comes back to life.
This is what he came back. He descended into the depths of hell.
Oh, Jesus.
He became an eldritch god.
Took the devil's throne himself.
Yeah. Punched out Cthulhu, took over his place. But yeah, so they got this fucking crystal that they think...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have,
Oh, God, it's a double helix.
From 850 million years ago. And they're hoping that they could potentially, like, you know, find some still alive in there.
Okay. It sounds awful. What, they're gonna try to crack this crystal open and, like, bring
That,
some
because that sounds like it
100
goes well.
million-year-old creature?
850 million.
That's a great idea. That turns well in every
Almost
movie.
a billion-year-old. Like, who knows what was going on Earth a billion years ago, dude?
Man, can you imagine the chlamydia that thing could have?
Well, the good news
That's
is...
my concern.
The good news is it would probably die of COVID.
Well, or it would kill us with something else.
Yeah, right.
We get billion-year-old COVID.
COVID billion. COVID-19 BC.
You're pretty good on this boss fight so far.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Considering I haven't played this game in a while.
There you go. I was expecting
first form.
Okay.
First form.
I was seriously... Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
can't attack the virus for being from a billion years, okay, alright? That's
Bigoted.
temporally bigoted.
Temporally bigoted.
Well, dude, why are you coming at people who are from disadvantaged time periods like a billion years ago, dude? Okay? Have you thought about the privilege you have living right now instead of a billion years ago?
I mean,
I don't know, maybe they had it better though, you know? It's like the Triassic,
Alright,
they had more
Cthulhu.
oxygen.
His first form, anyway.
What are you trying to claim here? You're trying to claim that it was better to live a billion years ago than it is now?
Maybe it was if you tried it.
I don't know.
I mean,
They didn't have TV.
You don't know that.
yeah,
They
man.
had
What
TV.
if
What
they
kind of
evolved
TV?
and had TV and then had an apocalypse and then like
Yeah,
we're
we
just
just
watching
don't know.
civilization rebuild?
What happened to their TVs?
We have to team up with the moon. Man.
I've never seen a fossilized TV.
Well, you wouldn't because they wouldn't fossilize. They'd degrade and they'd be absorbed by the earth.
Well,
Yeah,
why
exactly.
wouldn't one of them's gonna fall into a peat bog or something, dude?
I mean, the likelihood of that is very low.
Well,
We're
how come the
extremely-
dinosaurs keep on falling?
We're extremely lucky that we found as many dinosaur fossils as we have. Like, it's estimated that we only know maybe like 30% of the biodiversity of the Cretaceous at that.
But we
King.
don't even have one TV. I'm sure there was a great diversity of brands and styles of TV like we have now.
If there was an apocalypse today, all our shit would decay and be largely undetectable in like maybe like 100,000 years.
I don't believe that.
That's
I
true.
think. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
that's definitely true.
You don't think
technology?
You don't think if I
styrofoam would be the only
You don't think
thing.
if I bury it to Toshiba right now, you can't come back in 100 million years? And
No.
dig that up?
No,
Not that.
more.
No.
They'll get crushed by
Styrofoam is the only thing that
I
might
don't-
be around still, dude.
I
Maybe
don't know.
concrete. Concrete. Maybe.
I don't know.
concrete,
man.
maybe. Styrofoam is the only thing I for sure can think of that would
I
actually
don't
stick
know,
around.
man. Like, you know, I just feel
Oh,
like
God.
something would be left.
Jesus Christ!
Well, what if
is
they didn't
happening?
like TV very much? Like, what if they were like Amish microbes or something?
Well,
Amish
we're very
microbes, that's my new
advanced.
band.
Your argument is it was better to live back then, and I said, well, I
Yeah, they had a
argue
better
that
way
they
of
didn't
life.
have the
They were
technology.
closer to God.
Now, King did have a question about what the story of this game was.
Oh,
You're a confused astronaut.
yeah.
There's monsters.
Stuck in a time loop.
You kind of have amnesia.
Yeah, you kind of have amnesia. You're stuck in a time loop.
It's unclear if this is a real place or just all in your mind.
Yeah, it's like it's meant to be a mystery. So like, I don't want to say too much about it. I mean, granted, we're playing like post end game content, so you know.
If there's any spoilers, it'll be in this section.
Yeah, there could be spoilers like as we play, but
Right.
I don't like that weapon very much. So use a consumable, increase protection, or 95% chance to avoid being knocked down by heavy attacks. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
95% chance on a positive status effect. That's pretty good.
So I played enough XCOM not to trust 95% chance.
Fair point.
Still is one in
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
failure. What happened?
Damn, this is pretty sick.
Crazy lady fighting squid monsters. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, it's the hentai. It's a hentai game, man.
Well, fortunately, it's not an anime.
True.
You got this, man.
See, I don't like
Get
the...
them TIE fighters.
Yeah. They're like knockoff TIE fighters. These are like if Audi made TIE fighters.
That's why one reason I love the rocket launcher weapon. Is just like, especially enemies that move around a lot. It can be hard to nail down those movements.
You can never go wrong.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a dumb comment about you can never go wrong with a rocket launcher in video games.
Oh, sure.
It's definitely not the best one in this game, though.
Oh, lightsaber.
A light.
Do we have a lightsaber?
Oh yeah. No, I mean we actually kind of do.
Oh right, before.
Yeah, the sword is.
What you were gonna say? Alex?
Oh, so you really think that all that's going to be left is styrofoam?
I mean, scientists have talked about how all that's going to be left.
Yeah, that's what they've studied, actually.
Yeah, I feel like I knew this like 12 years ago.
Wow.
It's theoretically possible that there could be distinct civilizations from Earth's past that we would never know about.
Because
Unlikely, but possible.
Yeah, it's probably not the case, but I mean, we wouldn't have evidence of it. So
I'm just saying, somebody's going to dig
You
up a pager at some point. And
well, did you guys know that there weren't flowers around when there were dinosaurs?
Wait, what?
no
Flowers?
No flowers? Or
No
there were
flowers. No flowers.
Well, there were flowers in the Cretaceous, but not in the Triassic or Jurassic.
Well, so the reason flowers came to exist was because dinosaurs smushed all the bigger plants, and to evolve to survive, they had to become smaller so that they wouldn't necessarily be destroyed by the movement in the environment. Yeah, no, literally, that's exactly what that is.
That's also why, if you look at
dinosaurs are the reason we have flowers.
they look different in the Cretaceous than they do in the Jurassic, because like the big sauropods, their necks face downwards instead of upward, for example. Or a lot of the smaller dinosaurs became crazy. Oh, speaking of which, is Triceratops might have been more like a big pig.
Probably gatekeeping mostly afternoon too, and I feel like anytime
Oh my god, there's so many of these things. What the hell?
I feel like anytime a fandom builds up
Shit.
Yeah, there's
just
always
a culture within the fandom and all these in-jokes and everything, then they start a whole gatekeeping process where if you don't understand their jokes or you don't know their lingo, then they automatically hate you and they don't think you deserve to be part of their group, and then they just get
Yeah, it's essentially
they
just
get more and more insular. They develop dogma, almost kind of in a religious sense.
It's like a giant high school clique mentality.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think as much as there are things I'm a fan of, I've never participated in communities for anything or for fandom really.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it just doesn't seem.
But it does seem like the crazier the fandoms get, the more you're expected to have seen everything that's ever tangentially connected whatsoever to that fandom. Where people just get angry at you if you didn't watch the Christmas special, or
If you can't replay by
cast
reunion, a scene by scene replay of Trouble with Tribbles,
or if you don't know which Harry Potter house you'd be in because you didn't take the Facebook quiz yet, or any.
You don't know what happened to
kind of
Voldemort's nose.
Right, any of that. Yeah.
You can't run down the specific references in every episode.
You don't know
of
the
Rick and
technical
Morty.
specs of a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty got bad quick too.
Yeah, people think it really. People started to It's one thing to enjoy Rick and Morty, and you need to know a decent amount of pop culture to get all the references to that show. But the fact that people were taking it as a sign of intelligence that they recognized those pop culture references, where they're you have to be highly intelligent. It's no, you kind of just have to watch Star Trek and The Matrix and Terminator, all of these things that make you a genius.
So that's the problem with Star Trek generally, is a lot of people think, oh, I watch Star Trek, so I must be a genius.
Well, it's that's they call it thinking man sci-fi, right? That's
like watching Ancient Aliens and being I watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, sci-fi in particular tends to attract a lot of pseudo-intellectual ideas.
I don't know. Everybody.
Oh, what? What the fuck?
Oh, dang! You got shot
I wasn't even.
In the ass, dude.
You didn't get killed by an
Oh,
enemy.
this might be an intentional cutscene or no?
No, I die. Well, it's the hallucinations when you die.
I forgot. That's what happens.
So I did die, and then I got.
Sucks.
There's some new flashes in there though. So.
Back at the bottom.
Damn. All right.
Fantasy fans can also be pretty insufferable.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I know. I know what some of these people are like.
And especially Lord of the Rings, where there's like entire, like additional encyclopedias and everything like that.
30 seconds. Like every season of Star Trek, therefore I know more than a space engineer. Yeah, that makes sense.
That is what some people think. Lord of the Rings is one of the worst, but that's because there's so much lore.
Yeah.
That you can always one up people like you know all the history of Middle Earth. Well, can you speak Elvish? Can you
anything where there's a language that somebody's invented? That's always going to attract the bullshitters.
They come and like, I'm so dedicated to this. I learned a language I can never use to communicate with anyone.
Fantasy more broadly always irritates me because, you know how every fantasy setting is the same. Like it's always medieval Europe with for
the most part, yeah.
With elves and dwarves, and the technology's always the same. It's always inexplicably technology can advance to gunpowder, but everybody's running around in full plate that'll end just because of gunpowder, but whatever.
Right.
And anytime anybody tries something different, everybody's like, I don't like this. But then they go back to their thing and they're like, why doesn't anybody make anything different?
Right. With some of the fantasy stuff though, they definitely have started to be like, whoa, what if everything's based on alchemical principles? Then people can have like an alchemy-powered iPhone and
Are these people saying these things from Brooklyn now? Is it just the voice you're doing?
I would assume some of them are from Brooklyn.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, people do. People like or the steampunky kind of elements to fantasy too. That drives me crazy too. They're like, whoa, but they have these powered carriages based on alchemy and it should at least just be magic. Just let it be magic, dude.
What always annoys me is when people get all uppity about we can't have tech and magic because that'll ruin the immersion. But then they have fucking robots in fantasy and just call them golems.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It'll be like a robot. But...
Marvel fan mad at Scarlet Witch. People are mad at Scarlet Witch. It's pretty funny. People are mad at Scarlet Witch. What did she do?
They haven't seen the new movie yet. So.
What, did you say something racist or something?
No.
I mean, I like the show. I like WandaVision.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Definitely gonna be glad you watched WandaVision if you do see the movie though.
That is the one Marvel movie I'm most excited about seeing right now. So
that's strange.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's so far been the absolute best of Phase 4. I think, in my personal opinion.
Wanda killed a man with disabilities. Well, I mean, did he have superpowers to make up for his disabilities? Is it like Professor X?
I don't know, man. Yeah, how many powers does a disabled person have to have before it's fair game?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm just saying,
dude, if you're disabled, but you have
what am I supposed to do? Sit there and let Professor X just go ham on me, or am I allowed to defend myself?
Yeah, you have a hypothetical person in a wheelchair, but they have laser vision or something, or they can.
I'm just saying, if somebody rolls up into my house with a shotgun, what am I allowed to do?
It's a good question. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Especially with superpowers, can they really be considered disabled if they can fly or something?
I feel like every time someone asks us a question, the response they're expecting the kind of conversation that we're expecting to have is
what's
not.
Up, K-Margs?
K-Margs, hello, welcome in. Hello.
Get into a wheelchair.
That's probably the answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I don't know, because then you're impersonating the differently able.
Well, that's why you have to sever your own spine. You're like, all right, let's make this a fair.
You gotta make it authentic.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is this?
But then the other person will be like, You think the chair gives you power? I was born in the chair.
Molded by it.
I like that he sounded like that sheriff from Book of Shadows for a second.
Oh, I was trying to.
How are you finding the tower? I love the tower.
My
So far, K-Mark, it's great. So far, it's awesome. We've only gotten to the second level of it before we died, though. So still got a lot of, I assume, a lot to see and experience here. Oh yeah, you're addicted to this game? I mean, it's an easy game to just kind of keep going back to.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, you can get stuck in a loop for sure.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's fortunate the gameplay is so fluid, you know?
Yeah, I mean, once we've seen all the story stuff, for the sake of the stream, was probably basically see all the story stuff. 500 hours, damn!
Ooh, dang, man.
Damn!
You're getting pretty good at it at this point.
I assume you got all
you must be fucking
major
badass.
accomplishments for sure.
Don't defend the Second Amendment. To what extent, I suppose?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't own any guns, so
I don't either.
It's not like personally impactful to me. So I mean, do I have like a real serious opinion on it? Not really.
Yeah!
I don't know.
I think it's situational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Second Amendment should be preserved, but with, reasonable regulations.
Doesn't the 2A mean I can hug a bear? Every American citizen is allowed to hang a pair of bear arms over the fireplace. How can people possibly misunderstand that?
This tower.
But
It is profoundly different from the other ruins here.
I do think,
Architecture and technology
the police are increasingly less effective.
levels
Uh,
or something else.
So I don't blame people for wanting to be able to protect themselves.
Infinity.
Well, especially if you live in, like, the middle of nowhere and there's wild animals, like,
Right.
that's a place where I think the Second Amendment
Well, I mean, I
comes
don't
in
know.
pretty
I
handy.
mean-
Go out down the
I
pipeline
mean,
or
if you
something like that.
live in like a bad neighborhood,
Yeah, yeah.
and the cops take like an hour to respond, I don't know what I would want to do in that situation. I don't live in that situation.
Right, it's hard to say unless
it's
you actually experience
It's like
it.
in 20 and 21, they had like massive first-time gun buyers or whatever, and they were mostly women and minorities because things got pretty scary in the cities,
Right. Yeah.
just to be living, and then the cops' responses were getting up around like half an hour, 45 minutes. So you are kind of a sitting duck.
Yeah. Like I said, it's situational.
Right.
And certainly, I think for like hobbyists, you can
Ow! Fucking
have, like,
cat.
gun ranges, or have like a historical interest in guns, or go hunting. It's
Right.
totally into that stuff.
Damn cat.
I mean, as somebody who, if I had sufficient money, would probably drive around in a fucking tank, it would be hypocritical of me to say otherwise.
Yeah.
A real man would learn to balance with his mind.
Neo did it.
That's true. Can't argue against that.
Was it
I
the
mean-
Simpsons? He's like,
I mean,
well,
you-
you're asking me to turn back time. Superman did it. That's the last time I'm letting anybody use that on me.
I mean, you can stop bullets with your mind. You just won't survive it.
You can stop one bullet with your mind, yeah. Depends on the bullet, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of them will still right through.
Yeah, that is true. It does depend.
I always hear it before I see it.
Did you hear about Joe Biden talking about how 9mm rounds are high caliber?
9mm, yeah.
Watching
Yep.
hungry tendrils.
Well, like he was saying, like he was talking about like 22s
Punishment.
and talking about.
I think he was
how-
talking about the year 1922. That's what I think is that's
But
what
he was
was
talking
happening.
about people being able to survive. He's like if somebody gets hit with one of those, it might lodge in the lung and we can get it out. And it's like, well, that's the reason that people use 9mm.
Yeah, like
that
22 fell out of
shoots up
favor.
like a 22 is like barely above a BB. Like, it'll go in, but it won't actually stop somebody. Somebody can still come up and kill you with a couple 22 shells in their body.
The other thing is, like, yeah, you can get the bullets out, but, like, if you don't do that in a timely way, it can actually be worse than having to go right through.
Yeah.
We abused every American's family.
Now that sounds like something that would happen in a RoboCop movie.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this RoboCop is good.
Well, yeah, like a theoretically good sequel.
Yeah,
well, same thing. I only went to college a semester for him, cost $300. God damn, is he old? He's old, man. He's real fucking old.
He's like the generation of, like, kids that were born when the parents who fought in World War I came home.
Yeah.
His generation is like the boomers are the kids of the World War II generation. He's whatever the boomers were for the World War I generation.
The silent generation, is that what they called it?
Well, the silent generation
that was George Carlin's generation, right?
I mean, silent generation was the one that went to World War I. So George Carlin wasn't that old.
Or no, were his parents the silent generation?
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I mean, well, nobody from World War I has been alive.
I mean, honestly, I thought
Joe Biden could have fooled me.
Honestly, I thought that Joe Biden stumbled off of Noah's Ark.
Nobody would preserve him on purpose, though.
Where's my senile mate? Fellow geriatric? They only put old dick on this one. You know what amazes me? It's so hard to figure out what a woman is. I'm amazed Noah got all those animal pairs properly put on the boat.
That's real tough.
Well, maybe that's the reason a lot of animals went extinct.
Oh,
yeah, he did have a hard
Turned
time.
out it was two dudes. Ah, shit. That's what happened to the unicorns.
Yep.
Oh, they were just late, man. They overslept. Their alarms didn't go off.
Actually, that was a real children's book I remember reading once when I was a kid, that the unicorns were late to the ark.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Wasn't that a Robot Chicken sketch?
It was a Robot Chicken. Yeah, I remember that very, very vividly.
It was the children's
an actual
book first.
children's book.
Interesting.
That's funny.
Guns Akimbo, that's that Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, I've not seen that still. I've heard people talk about it, but I've not seen it myself.
What's that about?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So in like the Daniel Radcliffe movie, he gets like guns sewed to his hands or something. I haven't seen it either.
What, it's like Edward Scissor Guns? Or...
They should have just called it Edward Scissor Guns, let's be perfectly clear.
Edward Scissor Guns.
Oh. I can't get both. Damn.
What are the blue ones?
They would make, like, the weapons I pick up next better. But that was a lot of health, though.
You do need that.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. I could... Not a lot, but 10% chance I just get health from killing an enemy. Something.
Isn't that Phantom Limb stuff crazy, though?
Like actual Phantom Limbs?
Yeah, when like amputees can like feel their hands still there and stuff.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you got like an itchy like Phantom Limb? That would suck.
It happened.
I know, it would suck.
One of the craziest things I was reading about was people who have like multiple prosthetics sometimes form like an attachment to both. Of like, say they have like two fake legs, and they're wearing one leg, and they feel that like they have the attachment where because your mind determines a lot of what you feel, regardless of whether you can actually feel. That's why they can do that experiment where they can like stab the fake arm in front of you and have your arm hidden behind a wall, and then the people freak out because they think like they just got stabbed in the hand.
Yeah.
And they can actually feel pain for a second until they realize that it wasn't actually their hand.
Right.
But if you have multiple prosthetic limbs, you can feel both of them at the same time.
Damn.
So somebody will have one on their leg and feel like their leg's there, but then also know that their leg is in the closet just sitting there, and also kind of have like a sense of feeling.
Phantom limbs are when if you get a limb cut off, you can still feel it as if it were there, even though it's gone.
It's like your brain is...
It's a mental trick that your brain plays on.
Yeah, your mind can't always comprehend the fact that like you don't have a leg or an arm anymore. So your brain will still give you the sensations like your hand is there, even if it isn't.
Like you can feel, itchy or painful or like touch something.
The thing really does look like a peanut, dude.
like Mr. Peanut?
Yeah, it does.
Mr. Peanut.
That's going to be the name of this video.
And become Peanut. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what would that even feel like? Feel like you had... Like, I mean, obviously everybody has 2 legs, but like, you have 3 legs and one of them's in the corner. Like,
nobody puts my third leg in the corner.
Never get to the point.
Nobody puts my third leg in the corner. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder what would happen if we ever get to the point where we could, have like cyborg bodies.
Ah, fucking.
Well,
you could theoretically have very different body parts.
Well, the video, or the article I was reading that was mentioning this was specifically talking about that. It was talking about some of the transhumanism stuff and some of these new artificial limbs that they're testing out, and they've been working a lot with the amputee community, obviously, because they're going to be the ones that benefit the most from artificial limbs.
Did you get cyborg enhancements like the Ghost in the Shell?
Ah, man, I think those could be hacked. I don't know, man. That's my biggest thing is that I don't trust them. Is I just that shit could get hacked.
It's and then it's like, do you have to worry about kind of like a repo genetic opera kind of thing where it's like,
that's not a good future, man.
Is somebody gonna come and take it if you can't make the payments anymore? Like, how expensive is that gonna be? Elon Musk says that chipping your head's only gonna cost about as much as LASIK eye surgery. But like,
still out of my price range.
It's like $3,000.
Yeah.
So I mean,
really
not cheap, but
it
like
really
for the idea
how
of
it
like,
works. Like, can they be hacked? Like, if they're directly interfaced with your neural system, or would they be like, would you replace your entire nerve system with like computer shit?
My understanding of at least how the one that Elon Musk is pushing is going to work is it's going to there's going to be basically a wire harness in your skull, like connected.
And at some point, somebody will flip a switch, and you'll kill the president.
So the wire harness would like come down behind your ear, and then there would be like a Bluetooth computer interface that would connect into the wire harness, and then that would connect to your phone. So technically,
and somebody texts your phone, kill the president.
So technically, the chip isn't in your head; it's on the outside.
It'll just make you love Elon Musk.
Probably.
Yeah, I can see it.
So the whatever computer interface you would be able to like unplug. But still, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, how much could you mess with that? Could you mess with somebody's brain to the point where you could prevent them? I mean, if you're connected up to somebody's nervous system, maybe you could just prevent them from ripping the computer, Bluetooth, whatever thing.
I'm just curious, how exactly would you be able to hack the nervous system? I mean, wouldn't you just be able to hack the limbs that they're controlling with the device at best?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would literally be connected to all the different neurons in your brain. My understanding is it would be reading information rather than like sending electrical impulses itself.
Right.
So I don't know if you would be able to like. You wouldn't be able to like make someone move their arm remotely. I don't.
There we go.
The idea is
that's the best weapon in the game.
Nice. The idea is that your phone would become like an extension of your body. The main way I've heard,
as it is for most teenagers already,
right? Is that you'd be able to move the cursor with your mind, or you'd be able to skip songs by thinking about it, or something like that, or you'd be able to make a phone call without
kill the president because someone texted you to do it.
I feel like the best case scenario for the so-called neurohacker here would probably just make you catatonic or something. Send a electrical signal that like scrambles your brainwaves. Next big civil rights battle in the next 200 years will be whether or not you can have sex with cyborgs like a Blade Runner.
Probably, dude. Sex bots are gonna want rights, I'm sure.
Well,
I mean,
I could
they'd be human, right? Doesn't they already have rights?
I could see an argument over like sex bot rights. I actually don't think. Think there will be much of a debate over whether sex robots are legal until it's too late.
Well, not that they're legal, but do they have?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can see an eventual fight over whether or not they have rights. But if the argument is over whether people can have sex with robots, I think it's going to be way too late. Well, like when the robots are more advanced or whatever. But I think it's going to be way too late for the government to do anything about it by the time it's completely out of hand.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the government will just start thinking about it when they're like on the market and Apple's got one.
There's going to be a lot of crazy regulations and shit, or that happens.
Wait, how would an Apple sex robot work? Apple products break anytime they get wet.
It's like a mannequin body, but with an Alexa head.
Yeah, it'll be like, hey Siri, can I get a tug job real quick?
I'm just saying, if you come on it, it's gonna break.
They're mostly waterproof now, aren't they?
Sounds like
a cyborg like the one in Blade Runner.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds advisable to me.
No, I don't think I would ever do that.
I think it just did a hologram.
How would you fuck a hologram?
You can turn it off so it's not talking.
It's a hard light hologram, I get it.
Ooh. I hadn't even really thought about that. Yeah.
Well, what was your reasoning then?
What, to date a hologram?
Yeah, because you can turn it off.
Yeah, it can't hurt me.
You don't know that.
How would you fuck it?
I don't know.
Why get one? If you can't, I mean, like... I assume that's the point.
You know, there's more in a relationship than sex, age.
Right. Okay, Ben Shapiro.
Sure, but...
Some holograms can't get away.
Oh, I get it. You wouldn't... I get it. You would date a hologram, but you'd be fucking it, no.
Sure.
Don't worry, Alex. I'm sure they'll make physical gnome sex bots.
Oh,
you won't have to work that hard.
You don't want a cyborg gnome?
This is what I'm worried about in the future, man. Is there things...
If you date an AI like it's her.
No.
Well, I mean, kind of depressed. The end of that movie is to find out that, yeah, she loved him, but the robot also loved everybody else, and that their relationship wasn't special at all.
To be honest,
and then she went and merged with all the other AI and left him alone.
If I was going to date an AI, it would probably be Skynet.
Really? God, that seems like a pretty, like,
Shodan next on your list?
Submissive relationship you'd have there.
I don't know, maybe you could rein her in.
Could you imagine that? Like, you're embarrassing me, Skynet. Why can't you be normal in front of my friends? Can't you be one Arnold Schwarzenegger at a time?
I would date a Terminator if it was like Glau.
Summer Glau is the actress that played the girl Terminator in the TV series.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched that.
Better than all the sequels, other than two.
It's like the only halfway decent Terminator thing.
Yeah, after the second movie, it's definitely the best one. Well, Lena Headey from Game of Thrones is Sarah Connor. She's actually pretty good as Sarah Connor. So.
Better than Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that Emilia Clarke is a good actress at all. I think she just got lucky casting with...
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe something will come along.
Bad directing or something.
I mean, that's true. I guess that's just... I feel like it's everything I've seen her in since, other than Game of Thrones, she's not been
What
good.
has she been in? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, it's been shit. Yeah, you're right.
It's not like she was in some award-winning drama and she was the bad mother.
That's true. That's true. We'll see. We shall see.
I don't know. I think if those brain chips go forward, I might date mine.
You might date your own brain?
She was in Solo.
Well, like
she wasn't terrible in that, actually.
The AI in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might date your own brain.
Yeah.
That's very narcissistic.
That could be a good time. We get along pretty well.
I mean, that's a good point. Sounds like a nightmare.
You wouldn't date your own brain, Afternoon Tune?
Yeah, no. Afternoon Tune is not a fan of that idea.
What? I don't know. Maybe I am just a narcissist.
Yeah, the nice part is you the nice part is you don't have to like really do anything fancy. You know, you don't have to like take yourself out to dinner to it.
Yeah, like I would never have to explain to myself why I didn't buy myself flowers for Valentine's Day, and it was fucking inconvenient. And then my brain would be like, "Yeah, I didn't get you flowers either." And
yeah, your brain would never get mad at you for like looking.
I would totally understand. Yeah.
I mean,
couldn't blame you for anything.
You're not wrong.
I feel like I'm a difficult person to empathize with. But I empathize with me.
I mean, I would hope at least you would.
Would it be weird to date your female version of another dimension?
Yes.
What is that?
Well, I mean, that's the question that usually comes up with this kind of train of thought, and the answer is usually either you fight or you fuck.
Yeah, it's either there can only be one, or there can only be one beast with two backs.
As long as it's a female version of me, I figure like we could work out the logistics. There's like two male versions of me. I think it'd be a fight.
Well, we've had this philosophical discussion before, but if you were fucking your clone, an exact clone of yourself, is it selfishness, or is it
narcissism?
Like what exactly would it be? Well, if it's yourself, is it though? I mean, it's not a.
I don't think if you.
It's not a relative.
If you.
But it is genetically similar enough that it probably would be.
They're both genetically similar.
Let me put it this way: you wouldn't
want to have a kid.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because I think
it's just a full-on replica of
like,
you, exactly, same gender and everything.
I think it's like 90. It'd be like a 90% or more chance that your kid would have like chromosomal overlap.
Yeah, but you couldn't reproduce with yourself if it was a straight up like duplicate of you, not a female version of you. I mean, like. Or a male version of you, or I just mean it is another you.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't get myself pregnant.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Gotcha,
if it was another you, like a clone, like you, exactly you couldn't get that pregnant.
Yeah, I feel like we'd argue a lot, the knees, over who was going to bottom. That would be
the real
conversation.
Yeah, that'd be the real conflict.
That's probably how half the fights start.
It's you, but as a girl.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy enough for me. I feel like
it's literally your clone, but with a chromosome split.
You're right.
Yeah, whatever.
Loss, grief.
I don't know. I'd take me to dinner. I don't know. See if we get along or whatever.
Would you go dancing with yourself?
See, I don't dance, and I don't think the other me would dance.
What if that's the only difference between you and that the version of you?
That the other me loves dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be like, nah, sorry.
That was an immediate red flag, deal breaker.
I don't know. Like the only advantage of dating me is I would never have to do anything I don't like again. If all of a sudden it was like, hey, it's you, but like, also I really like doing stuff you hate.
What if it's like you, like something more adventurous? Or what if you're the more adventurous one? Like one night you'll just be like, hey, we want to fuck a gnome tonight? There's like, what, you? Like, what do you do in that situation?
Man, like, how do you handle that?
That's a hard no.
A hard no or a hard no?
You'd say no to them because they wouldn't fuck a gnome with you.
No, I would say I'm not fucking any gnomes. Don't try to play word games with me.
Wanted to hike? Oh, this is a new one.
I like hiking, yeah. I like getting out into the woods and...
What the heck is
I don't...
It's a flesh gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like a bullfrog kind of rope pouch full of fire.
Disgorgers, huh?
Powerful consumable weapons that temporarily replace your primary weapon. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
What's it mean to disgorge?
Like vomit?
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, you call it vomit gun.
Okay.
How does this work? Like, what advantage do you get in Discord? Does it work completely differently? Does it advance the sword?
I don't know. I feel like I should save it for the boss, though.
More powerful weapon.
Can you switch back to your normal one?
It's like it only lasts for like a temporary amount of time anyway, so it's
like in Smash Bros. When you get the hammer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like a powerful, limited thing.
Time.
Ah, damn. I have a streak of not getting hit there, going. Oh, did I
Yeah,
get
you
the
want to
health?
kill as much shit as possible. I still got that.
Oh, I didn't even use it yet.
Oh, shit, okay. Sam Neill was a white guy, I think, that aged well. I don't know who that is.
Sam Neill?
That's
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in Afternoon Tunes stream earlier, and we were talking about like how Tom Cruise is turning 60 this year,
crazy.
and he does not fucking look like it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's aged.
I mean, he was always kind of a weird-looking guy, but he looks the same kind of weird that he used to.
Well, that's the advantage of being so rich. You get all kinds of nice skincare regimens.
Well, yeah, it's rich white people that age well. that's what it is. Being rich makes you age very well. Set the timer. Do I say y'all names? What? Oh fuck. I guess I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Oh, there are patches of ice now.
I have to see Hunter for a little while.
Oh yeah, that's another one of Taika Waititi's movies he made before he was like
cool.
super famous. It's got Sam Neill in it.
Should check out his earlier stuff since I've enjoyed everything he's been doing for so long. What We Do in the Shadows is the oldest of his movies, I'm pretty sure.
I actually think that's older than the Wildebeest movie.
Oh,
actually.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I haven't seen too much of his earlier stuff, but I have.
Actually, those might be the other. I mean, that actually might be the only other movie that he.
Oh, okay.
Did you see Jojo Rabbit?
I did see Jojo Rabbit.
That was good too.
That was good.
I thought that was very good. Text to speech. How do I say? Oh, how do you say our names? Oh, you're asking. Okay. I'm Sage.
Alex.
And as always, Ulysses is the most enthusiastic one.
Yeah. Always. Definitely not having
Yeah, like this gun is like 6 levels under where I could be if I was picking up other guns, and it's still doing, I think, better damage than the other guns would do at level.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking fuck it all.
What's an opalite again?
That's like the currency.
Oh.
That's like the little yellow currency that comes off.
It's a chunk of an obelisk.
Should have a stinger where the boy was saved by Captain America. I don't know if that would have fit tonally.
That would have been a little odd.
Sage and Alex got it.
Sage and Alex.
That's good.
See, that sounds like a joke Ulysses would make.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself for not making it earlier. I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to improve, better myself and not take as many of the low-hanging fruit does.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, well, you know, the older you get, the lower your fruit hangs.
Do I have to take one of these?
You ever talk to an old guy that...
What about his balls?
My grandpa told me that when he flushed the toilet, sometimes they got sucked down a little bit.
I think you need a higher toilet.
I don't know, man. I'm not really sure how bad it can get, but it does scare me.
Like, just cheese being pulled off a hot pizza.
I'm just saying, man, you sit down in the toilet and you just get a little cold water feel down there, and you're like, wow.
I see y'all got that joke almost ever again.
Yeah, man, we eat a lot of that Szechuan hot sauce around here.
I actually...
You ever go down to a McDonald's and just roll on the floor while shouting Pickle Rick? That's a mark of a genius intellect.
Yeah, when are they having more Rick and
Pickle
Morty?
Rick. It's got to be soon. It's usually a summer show.
They've taken years off in the past, though. They're not doing that again, are they?
I mean, I don't think there's anything necessarily stopping them from taking like longer amounts of time off.
That's not uncommon for Adult Swim shows, period.
Yeah.
And shit, sometimes it's like years between a season of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Robot Chicken I still like, but I haven't watched in a long time. Aqua Teen Hunger Force I haven't cared for in a long time.
You know, that's a show I really have never watched.
Yeah, I don't know.
There are some good episodes of it. There's an episode where their house gets spammed. Like their house gets a virus and pop-ups keep on popping up all over the house and they have to keep closing
physically?
them. Yeah, like physically. Like,
It's gonna happen in real life, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not far off that.
You know, a lot of people are trying to push the smart homes now, right?
Because everything's got to be smart.
So all your shit's gonna be hooked up to the internet.
Well, people have like smart refrigerators. I'm surprised you don't have to like watch
I think they're rich
30
people
second.
now.
Surprised you don't have to watch a 30-second ad to get like your jug of
Burrito
milk.
out of your microwave.
I mean, your refrigerator just sells your data. It tells companies what kind of food gets put in or something.
How
Right.
does it know what kind of food's in there?
They probably got a
It's
little,
smart, man.
camera or something, so they can just spy on you while you're putting food in there.
Now, you better not like fucking in the kitchen.
It's like that Ring doorbell, right?
I do hate that Ring doorbell.
That thing spies on you. It sells your data to law enforcement.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, give me a bag. Give me the damn
Max
thing.
crying at the McDonald's 1000 IQ real fast.
Oh, okay. This is phase 2 of Mr. Lord Peanut.
All right.
What's he look like? Same.
Probably got different attack patterns. That series in which robots are treated the best, probably Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, robots are even allowed to be gay in that.
C-3PO.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I can't think of a
Well-
situation in which robots are really treated as like subhuman in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, even the those fucking robots in Phantom Menace seem to get treated with respect, and they clearly don't deserve it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
What, the droid army?
Yeah. I couldn't remember what the
They did beat the Gungans.
Roger.
Well, the Gungans beat them because, you know, just
Gungans
barely.
kicked their butts for a while, though.
Oh, they were like surrounded though. They were there, except for little Annie, Orphan Annie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Jar Jar Binks was, like, personally destroying a bunch of them. If you're getting kicked in the fight, like...
I mean, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying that it makes either of them seem good. They're just, you know, barely not on each other's level.
I don't know, I just remember
Yep.
how stupid and chicken-like they were. Just going, Roger, Roger.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's basically an army of
They're
Andy
weird,
Dick.
they're weird geeks.
Oh shit, what the fuck?
I still don't know why the fucking Trade Federation didn't list people fucking hell.
The spinny ones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were the only ones that seemed to do it.
yeah, at least they had a shield.
Even their larger, like, tanky droids were useless.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ah, shit.
the little chicken ones were entirely worthless.
I always thought the robots were so stupid because they made it so cheap and fast when they started a proxy war.
You know, if that had been something they said in the movie, I would be like, well, that's good. That's, you know,
Yeah, if there was
maybe.
specifically a plot point about how the Trade Federation got ripped off or something.
That just what that tells me is that you're a better writer than George Lucas.
Exactly. I assume you would also not have made the Trade Federation hate material.
Yeah, I don't know what George Lucas was thinking.
Well, we know it.
Well, that's true. We do kind of know what he was thinking.
Maybe he was making kind of like a racist commentary on like the quality of manufacturing.
I think he was.
That's what it
actually, I
seems
bet he
like.
wasn't because that'd be too intelligent for George. But
Yeah, commentary at all is dubious. I think at best.
that's one of the times that he maybe.
Whoa, what the
Oh no!
hell was
Okay,
that?
I thought you died for a second there.
It like has like a.
It's like poetry rhyme.
Whew, all right, well that was phase 2. That was the second
Nice.
form.
Needs help.
I do. I very much do.
You probably just didn't die in the next minute.
Well,
Did different now.
Let's see. Might be able to get a...
Like it was grown.
Get a health out of this.
Built.
Nope.
Yeah.
Save.
Augmentation for damage.
Yeah, I guess I'll take that.
Yeah, at least if you can kill shit.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
That.
See, I am...
Well, no, bundles you have for one.
Hostiles heal when they attack, and the oblets disappear faster than normal.
Neither of those seem like a big deal.
Yeah. Ooh. That means my health goes up faster.
That's worth it.
I'm gonna do that. Also, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Oh, you guys wouldn't mind entertaining for just a moment.
Alright, let's sabotage stage of bronze.
No, don't do that. Actually, it matters in this one.
Alright.
I don't know, how are we supposed to entertain people? I'm not entertaining.
I'm in charge of the stream now.
Okay, what are we doing? Come on, you're the big boss. Give me orders.
Okay, here we go.
I just
here we
follow
go.
orders.
Here we go. Let's get up in some chaos.
Yeah, let's buy everything. Jump off the cliff.
Am I allowed to buy it? I'm not going to do that. Let's just look at some stuff. What's this? This is organelles or something. Oh,
Ooh,
it's got
it's like
some
a colon
eyeballs
with
thing.
eyes.
Ooh.
Alex, don't you wish your colon had eyes? You can see what's up in there? Like when the gnomes get all inside, you can take a nice
I
look.
can observe. Okay, no, I don't really wish for that. There's, you know what? All the inside bits are better unseen. You know?
You sure about that?
The inside bits of people? Or
Yeah.
Oh, gnomes?
I mean, who wants to go look at all that?
The only thing that's saying the Star Wars prequel is the Clone Wars series.
The cartoon? Yeah, oh, well, yeah. I mean, that was definitely better than the actual film trilogy.
The stage was the prequels.
Okay, I did promise that when the dog
That's
left,
true.
they finally...
He said they
That's
were
true.
almost as
Fucking
good
cannibal.
as.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
That's probably why these controllers are having so much drift.
Yes,
Because you keep doing that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not mine.
You're costing the stage so much money. What are you going to contribute?
But I'm basing that's the
Alright.
first Star Wars thing you've ever seen. Well, it's better than the fucking movies, for sure.
I mean, few things are worse.
Yeah, those prequels are... I mean, they're
Granted, Disney didn't do
shit.
much of a good job of competing.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of Disney.
Yeah, I mean, well, the sequels aren't even fun to mock.
Yeah, that's true. They're better
it's
in like
kinda
an
fun to
objective
mock
sense,
the
but they're more boring because
Yeah.
they're slightly better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they occupy that weird middle ground where something is shitty, but not shitty enough to be fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you throw the riff tracks on, and those prequels are
Pretty classic.
they're entertaining.
That's a
and-
solid, like, party thing to throw on. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like the road tracks.
Oh God.
For the prequel.
Not a good thing to fight on low health.
No, I don't know.
You're gonna get help nowhere else.
Oh, and you got one of those hammer things.
I got a little bit. I got a little bit of health
Oh shit!
from that enemy.
That's your gun.
What? Same gun?
Why is there a Mjolnir, dude?
A what? Oh yeah. That does have a kind of Mjolnir look. Damn it!
What did the Finn and Rey such badly written characters?
Because they didn't have a plan or ideas going into into what movies they wanted to make. They just said, "Hey, we got Star Wars. Let's make Star Wars movies." But they didn't have a narrative or a plan. I mean,
They clearly had no real arc for Finn. I mean, he just killed.
Well, I think
all he did was
He
go,
killed Brienne, and that was
"Hooray!
about it.
Hooray!"
Actually, no, I don't think he even killed Brienne, did he?
they went into those movies.
But she got
being
killed by
like,
an explosion
Yeah,
during
being
yeah,
the
'cause
like-
I thought like he had spared her when she was like a bitch, and then she blew up.
We need these kind of characters, and then they didn't write good backstories.
Yeah.
I
They're
mean,
like,
that's really what it was.
we're gonna sell these characters on diversity alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like,
Kind of.
there was no reason that you couldn't have a black man and a female character be the leading characters of the movie. It's
Yeah.
just- they
Of course,
had to
didn't-
have.
didn't
They
do
had to
that
have.
anyway. They
Yeah,
still
they
put
did
Finn
it.
in the
Yeah,
background.
Well, I
they-
think
they
if
are
anything, it's
just
more
big now.
insulting.
And I think
than-
that was mainly because it didn't go over very well in China, so they slowly shifted.
Well, you know, they took him
out.
off a lot of the posters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like they really Finn felt like in the marketing campaign, like he was marketed as both the lead character
Right.
and also the character that would be
At least
a
lead
Jedi.
male.
Mhm.
Yeah,
At least
Yeah.
here.
leading man, I should say.
Right,
Yeah.
and they did, especially
They totally fucked John Boyega.
in the
over.
later movies. They de-emphasized him as much as humanly possible.
Absolute bullshit. I mean, he was a genuinely interesting idea for a character.
Yeah,
Nothing.
the concept worked, but then they just didn't do anything with it. But and again, some of that speaks to the fact that there was no cohesive vision for it as a trilogy in general. I mean, they're getting different directors to come in and do things that like actively are working against each other's movies.
Well, yeah, Ryan Johnson just like threw like a big turd in the mix with his.
I still say I mean like I don't like any really of those movies, but The Last Jedi, I don't think the ideas in the movie work very well. But I think that it at least tried to be something other than pure nostalgia bit.
Yeah, I think if he had done like the whole trilogy, he might have had something to work with.
Exactly, that's what I always say. Is I think Rian Johnson just should have directed all three of the movies instead of having to come in and try half, like a third of the way in to do something different.
And one of the biggest problems with big budget Hollywood movies, especially trilogies, anything that's out of the box, they're like, we're going to make this many of them, is that if they don't quite get the critical response they want,
they start
or they think there's something wrong with it, they panic, and they'll get somebody else.
That's also been the case with most of the DCEU.
Yep, that was the specific other situation I was thinking. Yeah, they panic, they want to change everything up, they think that if you just totally change direction in the middle, somehow it'll make things better, instead of you just retroactively making the first one make no sense, and then the second one also make no sense in the context of the first one.
That's one of the problems inherent to going into something with no vision.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly. They didn't have a vision.
Well, the studios never have a vision, and it's so.
But they
rare.
didn't even get a director or someone to work on it that did, which is, I mean.
But honestly, it's hard to get a director with vision anymore. At least ones that the Hollywood studios are willing to take a risk on.
Well, yeah.
Like, look, they got Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder supposedly had a vision for the DC universe.
He had a visual.
Shit.
Is what he had.
Yeah, he had a visual.
I mean, again, if Zack Snyder just stuck to being a cinematographer, I would probably really like him. He just did that. I might enjoy him.
Right.
Oh shit! Wall stationary minus 75%.
Jesus,
that was cringe. They made.
Yeah, it was a real waste of. And fucking pissed.
Oh god, yeah.
Like he was.
They fucked him over.
I don't know. And then yeah, of course they're gonna.
Alex, do you want to fuck up a round real quick?
Oh sure.
Play as much. Now that we're near the beginning, I don't mind as much.
What are the controls, Sage?
Oh, you'll figure it out.
Oh, all right.
These are standard controls.
Right.
I played a little bit of this when we were playing it before.
Oh, okay.
Come on, then.
You got this, Alex.
Go play inside real quick. Take the dog out.
Yeah. Eat it, weird glowing rock.
Is that even effective?
I really hate this take on Superman. He made him a sociopath, not the one I remember from the comics. Yeah,
I don't think I can attack
That's just
this
a
thing.
random
That's like a
trap.
mine or something. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you on the Superman thing.
So it's got a red bubble around it. Square is the sword, which is what just sort of shields.
Okay. But I don't think I can attack.
Yeah, these are just traps.
Yeah, these are just traps.
You're doing fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's part of the problem. Is they should have made, if they were going to go the Zack Snyder route with Superman, they shouldn't have made him Superman. They should have made him like that evil Russian Superman. Was his name Ultraman? I don't know. No, that's Japanese.
Red Sun.
I know it's the name of the comic, but I thought he had a different like superhero name. Some people told me he was going to bring Justice.
Omega Red.
Was that it?
Red? I think it's Omega Red.
You should sound like an energy drink.
You know that, like, I'm literally regurgitating.
This is why we can't do this.
Secondhand knowledge from Sage to you right now.
Yeah, we can't.
Like, you know, I don't know that, right? It's just me telling you some shit Sage told me.
Yeah, we're not nearly nerdy enough for that.
Yeah, wrong kind of nerdy, at least.
Exactly. So we're more like, I don't know, what kind of nerds are we?
Like, I would say I fall mostly into like a category of like bookish nerd combined with like conspiratard.
Conspiratard. I've never heard that one before. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'm probably more of the bookish type.
Right.
More of a history nerd.
Yeah.
Sage obsesses over superpowers. I obsess over, I don't know, the engine specs of, some fucking trash-ass vehicle built in the 1930s.
I obsess over superpowers in the geopolitical sense.
That's a good point.
Alright, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, Sage.
I can try.
Do you see that thing with the triangle and like 3 spheres on it on the little map?
The Trinity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the teleport pad.
Yeah, go for the
Oh,
There you go.
so wait, how do I use the teleport? Because I've stood on that.
activate triangle.
Okay, I could have read that.
You could read
You
that.
could have read.
You could have
It's
read.
more than
You don't
literate.
read though.
I do not. Well, it's my goal not to
Yeah,
read.
your goal is to become illiterate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your aspiration is.
So I'm actually doing pretty good, right? You guys kind of impressed?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're doing
I could have
fine.
solved
We're
that
not
problem.
reading it.
I could have solved that problem with reading.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Hey, Sage, what's the name of the evil Superman from Russia?
I don't remember what his like.
Sage
name
doesn't
is.
remember.
Is it Omega Red?
Is it Ultraman?
Well, no, I mean the comic is just Superman, like he lands in the Soviet.
Well, I thought the comic was called Red Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the name of Superman? Is it
I don't
Superman?
remember what like name he's given.
Okay.
It's not Omega Red.
It's not Stalin.
Omega Red is a Marvel character now.
Fuck.
Hey, at least you got a comic book character.
You did get a comic book character. Yeah, I can give you that.
We'll make a comic book nerd out of you yet.
I tried. and that's a Russian. It's now that I remember, it's an X-Men character. But he is Russian. So
Oh, see, you were really close then.
take some credit for that.
Yeah.
What weapons do I have? Damn it!
You have a pistol and a sword.
How do I switch between weapons?
Your sword is like a one-time attack you do when you're
No,
fighting
I
an enemy,
know, but I
don't know what the button is.
Yeah.
Hey, you got up to a couple floors.
Yeah. Wow.
More intestines.
Always.
You think you can make some good bratwurst out of those? Maybe some haggis?
Demon sausage?
Alien haggis?
Yee.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know, man.
The tower has its own cycle. Repeating, changing. I
Repeating,
I
changing.
need to climb higher.
Higher and higher.
Yeah, this is going to be a lengthy one to get through. His name was Max Nevsky.
Oh, like Alexander Nevsky?
Yeah, did he beat the Germans?
Nevsky was pretty smart.
He was badass.
Yep, beat the Germans, but was also willing to surrender to the Mongols.
Mm-hmm, 'cause
He's
he
smart enough to
played
know
ball.
that his city should get burned down.
Yep. It did
Plus,
help
the
with
Mongols were willing to allow the Russian civilization to continue to exist.
Yeah, the Teutonic Knights were not.
Yeah, so that was a good call on his part.
It did help that the Germans weren't particularly smart.
The Teutonic Knights were the dumbest of all the military orders of the Catholic Church. We're just saying
That is
something.
saying something.
Where do I need to go?
There's the triangle thing, so point towards the triangle.
Wait, where's the triangle?
It might be above you. Like, I think there may be an elevator through one of the doors.
This is why I need to pay more attention when Sage is playing.
But then how would we bullshit? Oh, this is our stats computer.
Okay.
This is your score for your previous
Yeah, I
cycle.
don't care.
Oh, you don't want to know how well you did?
Wow. Not really.
What's that? You stick your dick in there?
Oh no, this is the thing that throws me outside. This is the butthole that tosses me outside.
Oh, okay.
Damn it!
We got to play the piano.
Huh?
Any good new flashing images?
Nah, I looked in the butthole, so we're back outside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
You should have fisted it.
Bam! Oh, King33 subscribed!
Ah, thanks for subscribing, King. You are the king, man.
Yeah, Justice. His name was Mac Nevsky.
That was Superman's
That's his Russian name.
Because he was the
Yeah.
maximum Nevsky.
Oh. Alright. Okay.
Communism to the max.
Oh, wait, I went through the wrong hole. I went in the wrong hole.
You do that a lot.
Seek the Tower of Sisyphus before we succumb to the call. We choose to die rather than be disconnected forever. The endless heights must hold a weight of release. Interesting. So I think there is like there's a top of this tower, right?
Yeah.
Like at somewhere in there is at some point a top.
Most towers have tops.
Unless it's a Tower of Babel.
Well, I mean, the idea is that it's like an endless tower, but like there's a max level somewhere.
So like the never-ending story.
Yeah. There's like a weird...
Never-ending story.
Da da da.
You love that shit. Like,
It's an alright movie.
You know, I've never actually seen the original movie, but I've
It's
seen
actually
the
good.
shitty sequel.
Yeah, you have seen the sequels, but
Yes.
not the original.
oh, the original is good.
Yeah, the originals. Yeah. Oh,
Sometimes Sage, I've seen him. You gotta be
What
quiet.
have you seen me do?
You come up into his apartment and you don't say anything and the door's unlocked. You open it.
Can you see me singing
Sometimes
it?
you'll see him
that
riding his dog going, Falcon! That's why he has some of his pets.
That makes sense, yeah. Because he crushes them all under his weight.
Like the donkeys on Santeria.
Oh.
Did you hear about how they had to
Is that what
ban-
that song was about?
Not Santeria, Santorini. That island in Greece.
Ah.
Sorry. Yeah, Santeria is a religion where you cut chickens' heads off.
So, like, any...
Yeah. But on Santorini, which is that famous Greek island with all the blue and white buildings or whatever,
Right.
it's been tradition forever to ride a donkey up to the top of the mountain in the middle of the island.
Love the Red Sun story. It's a good allegory story on how I've had a dictator take over. Yeah, makes sense. It is a pretty good little plot line. I've never read it, but I know enough of it.
Oh yeah, that's an
awesome
awesome comic.
Setting it in the Soviet Union makes perfect sense.
Think- Yeah, no, that's a solid classic Superman story.
I'm surprised that nobody's done more like adaptations of it, considering that it's...
They did one animated movie really recently,
Okay.
actually, and it was okay.
And I feel like it's one of those superhero things that's gradually becoming more of like the cultural osmosis, you know?
I mean, they had like costumes for it in the first Injustice game. I think that's probably one of the things that made it like.
Red Sun Superman is basically Putin. Yeah, but more confident.
He did build a never-ending series of statues of himself. And so every time people were like, "Hey, can I get help?" and I was like, "Nah, I'm busy. I'm building statues."
I will say that Putin's invasion has not gone well, but his understanding of how the economic system works, he got us there, man. You know, the ruble's the best performing currency of the decade now.
That's amazing, especially considering how much it tanked after the war.
Yeah, but it's rallied
It was a
back.
very
and then
temporary
more
tank.
some.
Damn.
Because he just knew that the Europeans
They
would
come crawling back.
have to buy his natural gas no matter what, and then he made them pay in rubles.
I mean, that's the thing.
So now they're buying rubles, which is boosting the value of his currency.
That's Russia's, sort of the main reason that Russia's still clinging to relevance is that Europe is such a packed engine now.
Yeah. Well, also they really, I don't know, they spent like years talking about how Russia was the biggest geopolitical threat, but then allowed themselves to become
Entirely dependent.
on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Big mistake.
Yep. Well, I mean,
Well, especially when you have countries like Germany that actively sabotage broken energy infrastructure over nothing.
Yep.
yeah, but man, what if a tsunami gets to Berlin?
I know, there's
okay?
so many earthquakes
what
in
about,
Germany.
What about the regular occurrence of tsunamis in Hamburg? Okay, like that happens a lot along Germany's extensive coastline
Yeah.
of like 3 towns.
Yeah. In Germany, they could have a Fukushima every year.
Yeah, because tsunamis are really good at like getting through that tiny gap between Norway and the Netherlands, and then up into Germany.
It is pretty good, though, that the Ukraine war hasn't resulted in any nuclear disasters yet.
Surprising too.
Well,
It really looked bad when the Russians were shelling Chernobyl.
yeah. Well, also just the idea that the Russians might launch a tactical nuke in an actual battlefield situation in order to escalate tensions without going like full-blown nuclear.
I don't know. I think that would go way too far. TAC nukes are.
I think it would too, but it would be a strategic decision on Putin's part that would require the West, because Ukraine's not a NATO country. It would require the West
to respond in some way.
To think very seriously on whether they want to go to full nuclear war over one small tactical nuclear warhead going off in a non-NATO aligned country, or if they would want to respond in a different way.
I mean, I don't think it would go there immediately, but I do think they would.
Oh, once nukes start flying, it's probably an inevitable countdown.
Russia looks weak now. They can't beat Ukraine. They are sort of making progress in the Donbass regions now that they're just relying on just artillerizing everything. Like, there are whole Ukrainian towns now that have just evaporated.
Well, and also as much as like Western Ukraine and the vast majority of Ukraine has no interest in becoming part of Russia. There's a reason those areas in the Donbass were the regions that Russia most wants. That's because they are ethnically Russian. They're less opposed to becoming part of Russia. So it would be...
Well, a lot of them are in that particular area. A lot of them are directly in favor of it, not just not opposed.
Like, it would be an absolute nightmare for Putin to try to integrate the non-ethnically Russian parts of Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, no, that would just be...
It was a fool's errand to do as much as he did initially. Like, he should have just gone for the Donbass region and just sat there. He probably would have been fine.
It worked for him in Ukraine. And the truth is, people will say that the election in Crimea was rigged, which it probably was because it was thrown together so fast. Yeah. But the Russians would have won that election anyway.
What was that
referendum?
Oh, the Jubilee of Kenobi is the most watched premiere on Disney Plus. I mean...
Disney Plus hasn't been around that much. The Mandalorian was like a surprise hit. Boba Fett got some pretty negative press right out the gate. I'm not actually super surprised by that.
I'm not surprised because it's Star Wars.
Heard they tried to assassinate him. I have not heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but at the same time...
the Ukrainians claim that they sent a hit squad or whatever that was thwarted. They claimed that they had attempted to assassinate.
That seems plausible. I mean, certainly the Russians tried to do that with Zelensky.
Well, several times at this point.
But as always, the Russians kicked it. Who would win in a fight, Putin or Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is like 30 years younger than Putin.
Yeah, I think if we're talking a straight up fist fight, Musk would kick his ass. I think, but
is Musk like fit at all?
No, but he's not like 80.
I mean, Putin knows how to fight, but Putin is getting quite old.
You got money? Oh, you got money? Your money on Putin?
I don't know.
I mean, Putin's a judo champion.
But he's old. That's the only thing.
Getting very
I think it really comes down to how much of his age would outpace, like, his skill and the fact that he's got a better physique. Like,
yeah, right. He's definitely been trained to fight from the KGB to the fact that judo was like a hobby of his for a large part of his life. But
yeah, I don't know. Either way, that's a hard call.
69, nice.
Oh, so he's only he's less than 20 years older than Musk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, when you start getting up to those ages, though, that starts making a bigger and bigger difference. Smaller differences in age start making a bigger and bigger difference when you get to that that old though.
Yeah. So I don't know, like 19 years. I mean, still 69 that's getting pretty old to be getting in fights.
But yeah, if Putin died, I don't know what would happen to Russia.
It would collapse, and then nukes would get into the hands of radicals who have no organization whatsoever, nuclear war would break out because
Putin is not wrong in the fact that he believes that he is Russia at this point.
Yeah. That's always the problem with strongman countries like that.
But then again, I mean, like, look how bad Yeltsin was, dude.
Yeah.
Like, somebody had to come in. Like, Putin let it all go to his head and he destroyed democracy when he came to power. But I think he also knew that you couldn't have...
Oh, you got a bone, okay.
You couldn't have a president like Yeltsin again. It was just like... That's just a disaster. The amount of money he stole out of that country. Not to mention he was just such a horrible drunk all the time. Like, he was just fucking wasted. Everywhere he went. He was wasted on TV all the time. You go watch some old interviews with Boris Yeltsin or watch his speeches he gave to the country and stuff like that, and you could tell he's fucking flat.
It's like the most stereotypically Russian thing.
Yeah, it's like watching like Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sunday morning.
But at least he was better than Biden.
Oh,
Yeah, right
what
up
am I
until
doing
the
here?
end, there was a point where Yeltsin was getting like that. That's why he had to step down. They actually picked Putin.
They probably didn't even
specifically.
let him go as far as Biden.
Putin was chosen as leader, as the successor to Yeltsin, specifically because when he was deputy mayor of St. Petersburg, he covered for the corruption.
Who would win in a fight, Biden or Putin? Putin easily.
Putin.
Are you kidding me?
That's not even a fair fight at
Yeah,
all.
no, I'm
Putin
sorry,
would beat
man.
the shit out of Biden, and Joe Biden would Putin his pants.
Yeah.
Biden wouldn't even know he was being beat up.
Yeah, he would just be like, it's a TiVo.
Do you remember during the election when he was challenging people to like push-up contests and stuff?
Biden was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Like,
that.
like somebody in the audience was like questioning him. He was like, "You want to do a push-up contest?" And
Yeah, I do remember
Are you
that now,
serious?
yeah.
They're like, "You want to go out back fat?" And it's like, come on, man.
I don't get it. Why won't they just be like frenemies like we are with China? I mean, you say that, but I think things are going to heat up with China. In the
Yeah,
near future.
I don't know if China considers us anything less than a full-blown enemy.
Yeah,
I don't know. how-
China's
I don't know how
definitely
we
politically
think.
an enemy to
And I
them.
would
don't-
say that
I don't know
half
how
of
we think
America's
about China,
political people would consider China an enemy in the U.S.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but quite a few.
Well, some of them consider China an employer. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, our military is shifting to respond specifically to Chinese.
Yeah, I think overall, globally and geopolitically, China's a much
that's
bigger
We're an
thing to
actual
worry
rival,
about.
not like Russia.
That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons that the whole Ukraine conflict, I think, is starting to be like less emphasis is being put on it as time goes on. Because I think the U.S.
I don't know
really
that once
started
we're
to
removing
shift.
the stuff, I feel like we're connecting to the bone now. You're right. It's very difficult for China and the U.S. to split at this point, but
But that's why a war would be as ugly as it
Yeah.
would be, and it most likely will.
I think the
does
Chinese
Xi Jinping know how to fight? I don't know. Does Winnie the Pooh know how to fight?
like physically or not. I mean, she had.
If there's honey involved, I mean, some fists might
Nobody-
start going.
Nobody of the three leaders, Putin, Biden, and Xi is the only one who has like really lived a hard fucking life, dude. Like that guy's backstory is insane.
Yeah, it's actually pretty
Like-
fucking crazy.
His dad, do you know Xi Jinping's
Not very
life
His life story. Oh, dude, it's wild.
His
I will
dad was
take
like
it
a
away.
high-ranking figure in the Communist Party, and then Mao purged his dad.
Awkward marriage.
Awkward bad marriage.
That's a good.
Very good.
That's
at
actually a
That's
very good way to
really
say it.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
awkward bad marriage.
But Mao purged his family, purged his dad from the Communist Party, right? Which automatically means his family was basically cursed.
Yeah. Three
So his-
generations and all that.
Yeah. So he was sent out. He was like sent out of Beijing with nothing. He lived in a cave. Dude.
Oh shit!
Like they
the
went.
bug.
Yeah, they went. And,
Yeah.
They went and interviewed the guy that he lived in a cave with.
Yeah.
Like he was literally nobody. And then when Mao died, he was able to come back when Deng took over and rebuild his entire. Like he was able to get past the stigma of his dad being considered a traitor to the Communist Party, and then build his entire career slowly by acting as non-threatening as humanly possible as he slowly moved up the ranks until he ended up where he is now. But
Yeah, he went from living in a cave to being the leader of the country.
That's when you know somebody's smart.
Yeah.
That's like Putin too. Like when he was like literally nobody in the KGB office when the whole country collapsed, and he managed to come back and parlay, you know, his low-level KGB
Story of
connections.
Zeus.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, Putin, he used to be a pretty clever guy. I think
Yeah.
something's going on with his head in his old age and the fact that he's got so many yes men now.
Well, and
I also
the other
think
problem-
being isolated for multiple years due to COVID, especially with somebody who's old anyway, that isolation can probably
and
do
what
some stuff
happens
to
to
him too.
dictators a lot as they start to contemplate their own mortality is an obsession with leaving the country,
Right.
you know, in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
state either to set up your successor, but like really the obsession is to make the country powerful in your absence.
Right.
Right.
Create a legacy.
Right.
I cannot reach the clouds.
And so
Nobody wants to be out there.
The sky opens up
Yeah,
and
right.
I am returned.
But Putin has no successor. Like,
Yeah.
nobody. Medvedev is a moron. Like, he was good for warming the chair when the Constitution told Putin he had to fuck off. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
like, he's not the new, like, ruler for life of Russia.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I do feel like Putin, he probably knew he was this dude was a useful idiot, but I think he was trying to prepare that guy to be a possible successor. But even eventually he was like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
Right. Well, and it's like Putin wants to set up this like almost board of directors for Russia that takes more of like a hands-off, more like big picture kind of stance towards the governing of Russia. And then have, like, the president and everything like that deal with the day-to-day. And he wants to step away and, like, just be that chairman of the board kind of situation. But he doesn't even have somebody he thinks is capable of being president of the country right now.
Yeah, Russia's going to be in a sorry state when he dies.
It's going to be rough.
As much as it's in a sorry state now.
Which is why I think one of the reasons why he's been doing all of this is he's sitting there going, like, Russia needs to be in a much more defensible position.
Right.
Because when the Soviet Union fell, he controlled 1 of 9 choke points into Russia. Between his war taking Crimea, his wars in Georgia, his intervention in that Nagorno-Karabakh civil war or whatever between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Right.
And then now this, if he succeeds in this, he could close off 4 more of those choke points.
Plus, he's been actively working to cement alliances with, whatever he can find, like Syria.
Yeah. It
China,
looks like Iran for sure looks very
come on,
interested.
really?
China's super cautious though. China is very skeptical of getting into those alliances.
Well, Russia and China are also competitors as much as they have to be allied against the West.
Yeah, well, they have. I mean, they border each other.
Yeah.
They have disputes over the future of Siberia. Quite severe disputes over the future of Siberia. Which I think Russia will lose because China has the excess population to populate Siberia, and Russia does not.
China also has a dire need for the resources there.
Yeah.
Like, they cannot maintain the population they have.
Especially the oil, gas, and wheat.
Yep, wheat in particular.
Yeah, the amount of wheat you can grow in Siberia.
If things are ever going to get, like, really heated between the U.S. and China doesn't work out an alternate food source, they are fucked.
Yeah.
Because they depend a lot on American food.
Oh, soybeans? God, like we barely eat any soy in this country, yet soybeans are one of the like highest yield crops that we grow. It's one of the top like 3. It's like corn, wheat, and soybeans, and we eat like none of the soybeans. Some of it goes to animal feed, but the vast majority of it gets shipped over to China.
Yeah. We've been in a pretty bad place because of that split too, because we've kind of like no one to sell most of our shit to, but
And no one to manufacture all the
cheap
basic
shit at
necessities
Walmart.
of life.
but I'd take that over starving.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I'd rather just not have cheap shit
Plus,
anymore.
Mexico is 100% ready to become the new manufacturing hub of the world. They just need the investment. They already build the.
Well, you'd also have to clean up a lot of the cartel shit there.
I mean, they still manufacture tons of cars down there and things like that. Like, it's possible to. Because the government, as much as they can't control the cartels, they can, for the most part, prevent the cartels from kidnapping and murdering American executives. Unlike what Colombia was unable to do when all the Koch executives are getting kidnapped.
Oh, wait, what? Where is this enemy that I'm...
Is it an enemy or a trap?
Oh,
there you go.
yeah, okay.
And the cartels, I mean, the cartels are pretty intelligent criminal enterprises.
Oh, yeah, they're very well understood.
They understand that basic
military.
principle that you can't fight the hand that feeds you. Like, if you start killing important people from other countries, you put too much heat on the government for them to be able to do anything for you anymore. That's why they mostly just stick to killing, local journalists.
Right.
Isn't being a journalist in Mexico like literally the most dangerous job in the world?
I don't know about that, but it's definitely not a good job.
I think it's pretty high up there, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, it'd probably be being a female journalist.
Probably true.
I don't know if you're allowed to be that at all.
That's what I said. I just don't already allowed. There used to be back when we were there, but now.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the coolest thing for the U.S. to go and provide 20 years of civilization and then just fuck off.
Ever thought about leaving the country? You mean like permanently or like on a trip?
I mean, I've been outside the country a decent amount. I don't know if there's another country I would want to live in.
There aren't a lot of great options.
Like, America has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But the kind of increase of like right wing or right leaning politics is not unique to this country. I mean, that's something that's been
the whole world has shifted to the right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are countries where I think that you could live pretty comfortably. The only problem is the economic situation. Like, I would move to Argentina. I think Argentina is a very quiet, peaceful society. Just
avoid the Nazis.
Avoid the Nazis, and then
be careful in a Chinese rum store.
Yeah,
you might get caught in the crossfire as they're fighting each other.
But my main complaint is the fact that the economy in most of Latin America is garbage. Life in a lot of Latin American countries is pretty high quality. Peru is not a bad place to live.
Peru is a place I consider, or Ecuador.
Right. It's just the fact that their economies are consistently collapsing, and their currencies are always devaluing.
Yes.
So it's a lot of
personal... big inflation's bad here.
It's a lot of personal turmoil. At least producer prices, our producer prices aren't up to 30% yet, like they are in Germany.
Yeah.
Give it time.
Worst inflation since the Weimar Republic in Germany.
Not a good sign.
Damn.
No.
Damn. You don't really want to be repeating that arc of history.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, that was new. Most of that was new.
We saw it before, actually.
Oh no, some of that was new.
I mean, in this stream, I should say.
I think I could only...
Some of those images were new.
I think I could only see myself moving to Latin America.
Wouldn't go to Thailand?
You could be a ladyboy tequila slave.
Yeah, that would be great.
It's one of your big dreams in life.
Yeah, always. I don't know. My big thing is, like, if I moved somewhere, I'd want to be able to feel eventually like, people thought that I belonged there, and you never feel that way in Asia. Like, they're just homogenous societies. Like, nobody, even if I lived there for 30 years, nobody would think I was Korean. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
Then you move to Latin America, it's a lot like America in that sense. They're countries with immigrants and stuff. So eventually I wouldn't even take that long for people to start treating me like I was a real Brazilian or something, you know what I mean?
Because there's so many immigrants there anyway.
Well, just because the concept of Brazilian is a nationality. It's not an ethnic or racial thing at
right.
all.
Right.
Yeah, I just think it would be weird to spend my entire life living somewhere where I always felt
you can just hang out with the other
like a stranger.
What did you say?
You can just hang out with the other expats.
Yeah, but you go to Asia and you hang out with like the expats. Like a lot of perverts over there. Yeah, no, like especially Thailand. Like I don't want to hang out with the white people that live in Thailand.
Yeah, the reason they
or anything like that. Gross.
Yeah, they didn't go there just because.
Like a lot of those people are like creepy sex workers.
The white people that go over there.
No, not everybody. I'm not saying that at all. Like there are a lot of them, but like
I do know that they do got that in Thailand.
Yeah, especially in Thailand. Yeah, so
Well, when global warming really sets in, you can move to Antarctica.
we actually live in one of the best places for global warming in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, one day Antarctica's going to become like the world's breadbasket, so you can get in on that land and start farming early.
I'd like to. I do think long term moving up to the Arctic would.
If you do something about the trade routes that are going to be up there.
Yeah.
Like
That'll
I
be the
said,
capital of the world, man.
If I had a lot of money, man, I would buy a good natural harbor up in Alaska right now. And we'll just wait 30, 40 years.
Yep.
Oh, Ulysses, that was an interesting idea me and Alex had, was that you...
What, buying a harbor?
No. In the future, the futuristic time period of our comic, that...
Atlantis is going to be in the Arctic?
Yeah, well, if that whole thing is melted anyway, and you have that kind of capital of the world type area.
You can even be at, like, part of the reason why Atlantis came out now is because it had been kind of stuck in the ice for a while. There's no more ice left.
Right.
Well, for us, it time travels,
Yeah,
so it just kind of shows up. But
But it would still be,
I mean, similar idea, though.
Right. But I mean, that's like quite literally at the center of the world, basically. So that would just be a sweet visual, too.
Plus, you can put that in there and it'd be like, oh shit, these conflicts would take the future. Inevitably, you got the trade route up there.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty obvious at this point, but most people aren't reading the literature and really paying attention to the trends or things.
Well, some people still believe that it's not climate change is going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's happened.
Russia.
They don't believe that either.
I know.
Russia is the only person that really thinking about the Arctic right now. Huh?
Person.
You guys have person?
Oh,
Or the
country.
only people, I guess, in the country really taking the Arctic. I mean, the Chinese are too, but they have.
They don't have the.
They have to
They don't
fund
have access.
They have to fund the Russian efforts as by proxy.
Yeah,
they don't have
any
access to
territory.
that. Although they do consider themselves a near Arctic nation, even though they're over like 1,000 miles away from anything that could be conceivably called.
Yeah, well,
the
they
Arctic.
also think that they own, half of Europe and Asia.
I mean, if you could draw a line on the map around it, like, ooh, that's a way better version.
You need a whole lot more than 9 dashes to get up.
You only all you
Well, they
need
could
is
be
a
very big
Sharpie, Alex.
Okay, sizable dashes.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
dash overlap better countries.
Oh shit.
But yeah, they do consider themselves a near Arctic nation. So, I mean, that's an outrageous claim, so you can tell how important the Arctic is going to be in the future by the fact that China would make them. Claim that ludicrous. Yeah, I don't even think if you asked them, they could really defend that at all.
They have some propaganda ready, I'm sure.
And just draw the line on the map.
Yeah. They'd make up some story about how, I don't know, some ancient Mongol got up there one day.
So it's
Part of
China. So
China.
it's always been China.
It's always been.
The Mongols took over lots of Russia, right?
Yeah, they never made it to the Arctic, though.
Well, they got close enough.
Close enough for it to always have been
Close enough
China.
for China, yeah. I am gonna laugh so hard when China tries to pretend that they weren't conquered by the Mongols, but they were the Mongols.
Yes.
That's coming.
They're already doing it, I thought.
Yeah, no, that's already happening.
They've started to try to erase as much of Mongolian history as possible.
Right.
Like the groundwork for it.
They already consider Kublai Khan to be Chinese.
Yes, they consider him to be a Chinese emperor,
yeah.
and that the Yuan dynasty, which is just the descendants of Genghis Khan, to be a legitimate Chinese dynasty. But there are several.
It's always China.
There are several Chinese dynasties that are actually just northern
Yeah, like
nomadic
the Manchus.
tribes, Manchus, the
Several of the early ones,
Chitans.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, China's not really that different from a lot of nations in that, some outside force comes in, takes over,
Yeah.
and just assimilates.
Right.
I mean, how many times has that happened with, like, Germany and shit?
Yeah, it happens in the Arab world quite a bit, too. You still have the new upstart kind of, more extreme religious version of religious sect, kind of warrior sect come up, take over a country, eventually just assimilate the culture, traditions of that country, and then be forgotten.
And of course, you got, groups like the Turks come in and take over a region, turn it into an empire.
Which the Turks were basically not. The Turks are genetically almost indistinguishable from Mongols.
Yeah, they're from the same region.
Yeah, the Turkish and Mongolian are very similar languages even. But that area of the world just fostered those nomadic tribes that were basically unbeatable, but couldn't build their own civilizations. That's why they assimilated so fast into the societies that they conquered.
They also couldn't really expand outside of their climate zone.
Yeah, they
struggled
as soon
with
as they were
south of Asia. Like you said, they couldn't get to the Arctic.
Yep. Well, when there wasn't grass.
Yeah.
If there wasn't grass, they couldn't feed their massive herds of horses, and it's just, their entire way of warfare was basically moved.
Mm-hmm. Even if they'd ever gotten to Africa, they would have never passed the Sahara.
Yep. They could survive crossing some pretty big deserts, but they could not survive in the desert. And they definitely couldn't survive. They would have been able to survive on the savannah, but would they have been able to get through the dense jungle to get to the savannah?
Yeah, probably not. They did terribly in the jungle.
Oh yeah, Indonesia too. Tried to invade Borneo. But Kublai Khan was also a terrible general.
Yes.
And he staffed his armies more often with Chinese conscripts than actual.
He filled out their numbers with conscripts, but there was still an elite corps of Mongol warriors.
Yeah, and they had realized that they needed to send keep the Mongol warriors home.
Yes,
and on the.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
You dead?
Oh shit! No.
Yeah, it actually didn't hurt me that bad.
Okay, that's good. That would have sucked. Dead from full health.
But that was the way the Chinese dealt with the barbarian tribes. Is they would just try to get them hooked on Chinese culture as quickly as possible, because they recognized that all the luxury made them much less dangerous.
Now everybody's just hooked on phonics.
Yo, man, you got any more to
phonics?
Yeah, that's basically that bizarre South Park gag with the phonics monkey.
Yep. Hooked on phonics monkey or whatever.
That was so bizarre.
Some of the earlier episodes sound like they're so weird.
Come on.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite moments in the South Park, but it's just, how the fuck did they come up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I do like a lot of the early South Park very much. And he's got Patrick Duffy for leg.
Alright.
Boss time.
And we got this is the best weapon we've had so far, because it's like a higher level by like 6 than, or at least by like 5, I think, than the.
If only we had more health.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah. Literally, I don't even have a health pack.
Yeah, you're getting the pattern of it now.
This one's not super complicated.
Yeah, the boss so far seems alright. It's getting around between the boss levels a little harder.
Honestly, I feel like that was true for like the whole game, except for the boss in that third area.
Yeah, that one gave me a lot of trouble.
I got legit. I stopped playing the game for a month or two because I got legitimately stuck on that one.
This one sucks.
I don't know what his final form was, though.
It's not even my final form. Well, this is, like I said, best weapon we've gotten to this point with so far. Also, and also like having some sort of permanent malfunction is like that just happens automatically after beating this boss each time. So even if you do it perfectly, you are still having one of those that get attached to you.
Yeah, now you got the weapon damage by 50%.
Well in midair.
Yeah. Well, I guess shooting in midair probably doesn't happen that often.
There's some, but yeah, I mean it's not.
It's not like when stationary or when running.
Yeah, that one's more annoying. For sure. Well, it's been nice to play this again, though. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a gorgeous game.
Pretty fluid combat, too.
Yeah, can you imagine? And you can make a health pack for later.
There you go.
Yeah, like this is another one where I've popped it into do that too. So our health or our max health goes up faster. But this is one too where I popped it on or booted it up just on the 4K TV just to see it.
Yeah.
Oof, so good looking, dude.
Yeah, it is amazing how far video game graphics have come.
In a relatively short amount of time, too.
Yeah, I can't wait for when Star Citizen finally comes out. Like 2030.
Yes, you can.
It's still going to have them 2012 graphics, but we'll move way back. You know what they're spending their time working on now?
What?
They're spending their time... I shit you not, they're spending their time...
Horse testicles.
Spectacles for testicles?
Spectacles for testicles. Spectacles for your testicles.
Is that spectacles to help you get testicles, or spectacles for your testicles to see out of?
Both.
Alright.
Put some googly eyes on them. Give them some big wire rim glasses.
But no, they were focusing on...
Yes, no, make your testicles wear pedophile glasses.
Oh, no.
No.
With the horned rims on them?
No, just wire rim.
Oh, just wire
Oh,
rims.
like a librarian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
I
like a Nazi
misunderstood.
doctor.
You want your testicles to be a Nazi doctor? Is that like a specific kink?
I'm sure it is for somebody. How could it get better? Well, I mean, I think it. I mean, we're going to hit a point where it just literally looks like real life, and you're not going to be able to tell that it's animated. I mean, that's coming. That is absolutely coming.
And when that happens, then you're gonna smell.
Well, that's not better though. That's worse.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever walked through a sewage level
You
of
want
a sewer and
smell.
gone, I wonder what alien feces smells like.
You don't want smell-o-vision, guys?
Not in most games.
Is
No.
there gonna be like a fighting game where like two like sweaty dudes are just going at it and you can smell their BO? Like
Yeah, you'll just be grappling one of them, and it's just gonna smell like
That's
New
gonna be a
salt and vinegar
rancid
chip mode.
armpit.
that's gonna be a move in like multiplayer. Is like somebody tries to smell you to death. That'll be like a fucking like a strategy in those games.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever
Oh,
you
God,
ever wonder
Jesus
what
Christ.
Goro's armpits smell like? Got four of them.
Oh God, Goro.
It's 4 times the charm.
4 armpits. That I didn't even think about that. That's horrible. That's horrifying.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the future right there.
Goro's 4 armpit smell. That's
Yeah, wake up and smell the future.
That's gonna be my new cologne. Goro's 4 armpits.
Oh, God. I don't know if you're going to be selling a lot of that cologne.
Someone will buy it.
Yeah, somebody will.
Some freak.
Oh.
Somebody's gonna be into
If
it.
people are buying bathwater now, they're gonna buy that.
Yeah, man, they're hitting chlamydia from
bath
bathwater, and you think that Goro's armpit bathwater?
Yeah, I don't know. People are buying that bathwater.
Yeah, but
Well,
go
maybe
on-
not now, but they were.
You can go on
And then they
eBay.
got chlamydia from it, and they stopped buying it. But
Yeah, I don't know.
How pathetic is that to get chlamydia from somebody's bathwater you bought?
it's pretty pathetic.
What are they doing with that bathwater?
Probably baby. Probably slowly filling their tub with it, one bottle at a time, and then bathing in it. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but like, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I have never found somebody attractive enough to want to like bathe in their shit.
Yeah,
No point have I ever been like, man, I wish I could just like get all the sweat and dirt and grime of like a hard day in her life just on me and in my hair.
you could show me like the hottest chick you could find, and if she was like, "Hey, you gotta bathe in my bathwater to get with me," I'd be like, "Nope."
Yeah, it's instant no.
Yeah, like what is this? Some like psycho shit?
Yeah, that's psycho shit. This is actual psychotic shit.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't want to share butt water with you.
Butt water?
I don't want want you sitting in my butt water, and I want to sit
Yeah.
in your butt water. I don't even take showers because I don't want to sit in my own butt water.
You don't take showers?
Sorry, I don't take baths.
Okay, I was going to say.
I meant to say that's why I take showers.
Instead of baths.
That's my new single coming out is bathing in your butt water.
Baby,
There's a twang to this soundtrack.
Don't drain the tub, 'cause I'm in love with water.
Don't drain the tub because I'm in love. That's amazing. That's an amazing lyric.
You should be a songwriter now.
Yeah,
I mean, you did a little amateur songwriting back in high school.
back in the day.
Yeah, you should get back into the rhythm of that. I think you got some untapped talent.
I mean, based on that, yeah.
Yeah, no, fucking Star Citizen.
I can only
fuck
rate
Star
so many
Citizen,
butt
So guess what they were working on?
What's up?
What were they working on?
So they were working
What dumb
on
shit.
the new important thing that Star Citizen needs to do before it can be finished is like when an NPC sleeps in a bed, they got to make sure that the physics of the blanket moving accurately reflects the outline of the character. Like after they get up,
They don't actually. They don't need to do that.
That
important.
Yeah, Sage. How am I supposed to believe that the NPC was taking a nap?
Like if you walk into the room after they're done, like you don't see like the realistic like patterns in the sheets, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess that's what people want in games now. It's like fucking Red Dead Redemption and Force Ball.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was demanding the horse balls in Red Dead Redemption.
I
That
think
was
some
like more of a
weirdo
passion
volunteered.
project, yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody weird at Rockstar volunteered for that job. Like, Tom, you can go home. Like that. It really doesn't matter if that's in the game. It's like, no, my family can wait.
Yep.
It's all about the realism.
Just like, that's a pretty convincing horse there, Tom. It's like, yeah, I'm just workshopping the nuts a little bit. It ain't quite right. They look like nuts to me. And it's like, yeah, but
What about the climate changes?
watch when he breathes.
Yeah. Or watch when he steps
Like-
into a pool.
Like, is that scrotum heaving realistically enough?
Oh god, heaving scrotum is my next band now.
Oh no! I just feel like a fucking like a scream metal band or something.
Well, it's my heaving, screaming scrotum.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Screaming scrotum is also.
Screaming scrotum. We wear
That's
makeup like Kiss.
Yeah. That is a masculine band.
I don't know about that.
You're not sure about screaming scrotum?
You wouldn't listen to them?
No,
You wouldn't
that's
go to their
not-
concerts? They got like they're like gorillas, except they
Oh,
got holographic
man.
scrotum
Yeah,
on the
I
stage.
just don't, like, what would that song be like? What would that music sound like, dude? Like, you're telling me this would be like screamo metal?
Yeah, like like I don't know, thrash metal or some shit.
Yeah.
My side!
Screaming scrotum in the night. Will my scrotum see the light? Like, I don't know.
That was solid. I think that
I
was
know.
solid.
You like that, but your voice needs to be like 10 times deeper and screaming so loud nobody can tell what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I'm not gonna even try, dude. I don't care about that.
Well, we got 20 minutes. Should we even try another run?
Up to you, man.
Like, I just feel like
a run
how
takes
much.
A run takes a good amount of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, maybe we just end a little early since we're at the end of a run. And
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright. Well, that's going to be it for tonight.
Alright, that was good.
Cool. Hey.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
Everybody
King
who
and
was in.
Afternoon Tune, if you're still here, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you. Let's do this. What does this do?
It's an operating table.
Oh, is this story stuff?
Could be. That was comfy.
Yeah, I'd lay down on that.
Use more pillows.
I don't know if I'd trust a hospital bed.
Oh, yeah, this is actual story stuff.
Oh,
Okay, well, we'll end on this then.
sweet.
Cool. That's good, actually.
Was that there the whole time?
It was there after we died the first time. And then it was, but I was like, I wasn't sure what it would do, so I thought I'd wait on actually clicking on it. But maybe this is this is like, instead of going in the house, we lay down on this and wake up in a hospital.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we know that she...
What's that poster on the wall?
Yeah, what's that?
I know this too.
What does that say? You were a bad child.
You had a bad child.
Oh, you had a bad... You will
You
not
will
have
not have a child.
You were a bad child. You had a bad child.
It's just
You will
phrased
not
slightly
have a
differently.
child.
Alright.
Interesting.
Words
Okay.
to live by.
I mean, yeah.
Watching The Boys this Friday.
Well, I will be. I will be for sure. That's one of my favorite shows currently, Aaron.
In event of fire, do not use lifts, use stairs.
Do
Injured,
not leave children unattended.
call... Well,
Alvin
Lautner,
Lautner,
attorney at law.
man, these aren't funny enough.
No, they're pretty normal signs actually.
I mean, I do think that poster...
Zahariel.
The hell's a Zahariel?
That poster,
Oh,
I think
that painting
gives you
we've
a
seen.
good
There you go.
idea, Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That was
like
in- that was in the
it's
flashes and
gender
the
swap
dreams.
But
Sisyphus.
that,
That's somebody's fan fiction.
I'm sure somebody just jerks off to Sisyphus.
Or Prometheus.
Both.
Prayer
the
of
lamentation of
Oh, the cunning
Sisyphus.
king of Ephyria. He who cheated death, whose sin was punished by Zeus, he who rolled the boulder up the hill, yet the boulder fell. Oh, the cunning king. Oh, okay, then it just repeats. Oh, no, not all the way. Yet the ship fell.
All praise Clotho, who spins the thread. All praise
So now-
Lachius, who
so-
dispenses the thread.
all praise
All praise-
redacted.
So
Cuts the thread.
So that is like
Yeah,
the
the
sci-fi from the planet.
Yeah, the Morai,
Should've
the
done some
Fates,
Mormon
the Daughters of Night, the three as one, allotting life, allotting suffering, ending suffering. All plays the Morai. For without Clotho's spindle, there would be no thread. For without Lachius' scroll, none would receive their thread. For without redacted shears, no thread would ever end. No matter how twisted, how tortured, spooling on, unbroken, eternal, endless.
Okay.
So this is kind of giving us the idea that, like, we are an untrimmed thread. And that we're stuck in, like, our...
Broken.
Oh, we're fucked. I know that one.
Restored.
Ooh, payphones. Make a call.
Empty.
Ooh. Make somebody else pay the charges. too.
Yeah.
Forward them charges. Dude. How many kids these days do you think know what a collect call is?
None.
Very few.
Just once with dad's in prison, I guess.
There's a lot of those. Ooh, what's that? Do we get a wheelchair?
Not yet.
That's unfair. What are those magazines? Anything good?
Oh, magazines.
National Geographic.
Wellness Monthly.
Why are
Faceplate
you
and
here?
Rocketry.
How to thrive on how to
Okay, these
thrive
are good.
on adversity.
Waving, not drowning.
What's that one? Mothers.
Daily
I can't
life.
crouch, so I can't get.
Yeah, that's up. Well, they
Oh,
don't
looks
read
like
anyway.
repeats.
That's
Yeah.
only 3 magazines.
What's this?
Quit today. Why keep returning to something that is hurting you?
Nice.
Oh well, that's her car
Yeah,
on the
yeah, I
road too.
remember
that. Interesting.
Yeah, so some of this is definitely like.
Yeah. I mean, I think that poster definitely tells you something about how she's thinking about herself. That whole, you were a bad child, you had a bad child. You
Well,
will
then
not
throughout the
have a
game, it
child.
was unclear if we were the child in the accident and the mother died, or if we were the mother and the child
But I
died.
think
They
we
were
were
both.
the mother at this point, maybe.
Maybe the
Or
consciousness
both
of the
at
two.
different points in their life.
Yeah, right.
Alright, I got that memories. Oh,
Oh, what the hell?
yeah, where the flowers go?
Yo.
Why- well, where-
you
why-
just dropped that orchid?
I mean,
Don't let any cats get in here.
You know orchid is Greek for testicle?
Because of its shape, probably.
Yeah, it's the root system specifically. If you pull one up, they have 2 bulbs on the root system, so it looks like a nutsack.
Well, at least it doesn't look like those pancake
It's
cats.
different.
You remember those, right, Sage?
The what? Pancake titties?
Cacti. Remember those plants?
Oh, yeah.
They have look like.
Yeah, it looked like labia majora and labia majora.
You know, in Cambodia now, they're getting mad at people for picking the penis plants.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, because they're endangered. But
Oh.
people want to pick them because they look like dicks.
What do
So
they do
take
with them?
Just be like, ha, I picked you a dick plant.
They don't like
Today.
grind them up into like fertility medicine or
Where
something?
next?
No, it's mostly tourists, I think, grabbing them for like the laughs.
Oh, okay.
Just being like, look,
So
I
just
found
lay
this
back
plant
down?
that looks like a cock.
I mean,
It's a carnivorous plant, too.
Oh, I bet it
It's
is.
Just like a cock.
Does it eat beef curtains?
When did dicks be eating anything, dude?
Good point.
It could be like the opposite of vagina dentata.
You're sticking steak down your pants?
Call your doctor if your dick looks like a xenomorph.
Is your dick getting enough protein?
Okay. Complete the first. Okay, so there's a few hospital sequences
Okay,
within this.
cool. Interesting.
You don't like the idea of a toothed penis?
Toothed penis?
Yeah, it's like a
Nah.
toothed vagina, but
No.
female version. Gender swap.
Like a lamprey?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
No,
Yeah, that's a pretty awful image, man.
Uh-uh.
Are you telling us that you're not, or that you are a fan of that?
Well, what happens when a toothed penis meets the toothed
I know
vagina?
it.
I don't know, man. There's
Do they fight for dominance?
yeah, it's gonna be like Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would go down.
Somebody's probably made a version of Godzilla and King
I mean,
Kong.
Dick said it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dick's
Oh
a
shit.
huge disadvantage in that situation, isn't it?
Wait, what?
That's a
Depends on how big the teeth are.
disadvantage in that situation, right?
Depends
mean-
on how big the teeth are.
It depends on what strategy you use.
Hmm.
Yes.
What's the strategy?
I don't know.
What's it gonna grab onto?
Like the side, maybe?
I really tried to figure that out.
Like, what if
you
it goes
can pull
to
that. You can pull that off. I'll give you that. I'll give you
Somewhere in the universe, there's an alien species like that.
Is there?
Remember
Why not?
the unreasonable.
Okay, in the infinite multiverse, there's a species like that.
Remember the
Yes,
Most
Bose.
likely.
Not the
Bose.
poppies. It was
See, now that's me not touching the stick.
poppies.
See, but that's
The game
why.
plays itself.
That's why you can't be going around the universe hitting on aliens, expecting things to work out.
Work for Captain Kirk.
That's TV show. Okay, you really try to go play Captain Kirk in space? You don't know.
Well, we haven't met any aliens yet, so maybe it's like Star Trek.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, Bones probably just has a cure-all thing for all STDs, right?
Do you think
I mean,
Bones ever has to, like, inject Kirk with something to grow his dick back after, like, you know, he fucks something with teeth?
I mean-
man. Just you don't know what it's like on other planets. You know,
the dicks could have teeth.
you want to take a girl out for a nice spaghetti and meatballs and
Is that your Netflix and chill?
it's just a meal. I don't know. You take her down to the Olive Garden. Be like,
So you wanna have
It's
a-
more like a golden corral.
You know, like
deal.
I know you came all the way from Enceladus. Like, why don't you come on in here?
So this isn't that far.
It still ain't here. Like, I don't know, further than I've ever gotten anywhere. Whatever, you come from Andromeda or whatever, girl. Let me take you down to Olive Garden. All right, they got unlimited breadsticks. I don't even think they got that on your end of the galaxy.
I will not simply endure.
But you don't know what happens when you get home.
I will embrace it.
Yeah, that's true.
Every
When you
time
find out the whole situation's different.
Well, maybe that's what Kirk liked about us. He never knew what he was getting each time.
Next time.
It's like an adventure for him.
I guess, he's got an adventurous mind state, I'm a man, I'm all about predictability, alright? Like, I want to have a general idea of what the night's going to be like,
Right.
I made this into some kind of game. Finding
Meta.
Finding meaning in torment.
That's what we're all trying to do every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you think Kirk ever fucked a Gorn? And if so,
Yes.
did it look as bad as the fight scene?
I think he fucked that one.
That's how their two species made peace.
I think, yeah, that's just the scene. That's just the deleted scene that happened slightly off screen that we didn't get a good look at. I
Why do
mean,
you keep on making this loop?
well, new audio logs keep showing up,
Oh.
and then I was wondering if because we beat 2 forms of the boss, the next hospital sequence might trigger.
Oh,
That makes sense.
okay,
Um,
makes sense, sure.
If it doesn't this time, then we'll shut it.
Okay.
Shut it down. But I just thought, why not give it a few little loops and see
Yeah,
if it
makes
open that up.
Yeah, before we forget.
Well, I'm sure next time we are playing it'll. Yeah, I'll have to look up how many hospital sequences there are and how to Because that's probably what all of the story is, right? Like that's probably all of the story.
For this little DLC.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, sweet.
Cool.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody,
Yeah,
and we'll
for
see you next time.
Being with us.
Yeah, hopefully it wasn't completely mind-numbing and awful. What you gonna raid?
I'm gonna read Mr. Doctor. What did you guys say?
I don't know if we should say. You seemed like you got a little mad last time.
You can't hear us right now.
Oh.
What do you just?
I don't like saying
Doctor.
I don't like saying things about people behind the back.
Mr. I said Mr.
Well, just your misinterpretation.
Dr. Oceanus.
That was what it actually is. Yeah.
I think I said Mr. Drossianus or something
like that.
Okay. All right.
Just
well,
wasn't expecting it to be Mr. Doctor.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mindfuck, you know.
Man, those are two. What do they call that?
like this, like some Sixth Sense type shit.
Yeah.
Some full on Shyamalan twist.
Yeah.
Shyamalan a ding donged you.
So if you're a doctor who gets knighted, could you be a Sir Doctor?
Yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah.
Dr. Sir. Sir Doctor.
What if you're like a lawyer and a doctor? You could be like a doctor
Sir Doctor Esquire.
Yeah.
How many
Can
titles
you
can you
Sir
fit
and
onto one
Esquire at the
person?
same time? I thought Esquire is what leads to being knighted.
I thought Esquire was literally like a denoted you were in the legal profession.
Oh,
But
it sounds like Squire.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the etymology is quite the same.
Oh, well.
I thought Esquire was
And good night.
specifically.
I don't